students, I can personally attest to the benefits of a St. James education. At St. James School, our purpose is to build up every child from the inside out, to encourage each heart, to build character, and to elevate potential. Every day, we work hard to live out our purpose in the classroom, on the stage, and on the field. Thank you to the following businesses who have partnered with us to support and build up our students this year: Adams Drugs, Alabama 811, Baptist Ortho Now, Breck Honey State Farm, Brindle Sprinkler Company, Bush Law Firm, CB&S Bank, Dentistry for Children, Doug's 2 Salon, Gunthorpe Financial, Dr. Derek Wessner and Dr. Lee Murphy from Houston Clinic, Just for Grins Orthodontics, Judge J.C. Love, Merrill Lynch Webb Chastain, Merrill Lynch Jake Ray, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Montgomery Dentistry, Montgomery Paint and Body, Moore Company Realty, On Point Habitat Management, Pinion Law Firm, Regions, River Bank and Trust, Southern Specialty Physicians, Attorney Katie Steenwinder, Tanner Landscaping, and Zaxby's. Go Trojans.
If you played, I know how you'll answer this question. Do you remember your last high school football game? If you played, you remember every little detail. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's Friday night in Alabama, and this is St. James Trojan football. For the last time in the 2025 season, we join you from the J.R. Brown Press Box atop Carlisle Field on the campus of St. James School, where tonight 13 Trojans will close out their high school career on senior night against the Munford High School Lions. There'll be no talk about the playoffs tonight. The Trojans came up just a bit short last Friday against Tallahassee. The focus tonight will be on sending those 13 seniors off with good memories, because the truth is, you remember the last one much more than you remember any other one. It's St. James versus Munford. He's Brad Armagost. I'm Sonny Brasfield, and this is St. James Trojan football.
Discover your stunning new look at Doug's 2 Salon. Find your breathtaking new hairstyle or color with our expert stylists and salon artists, and look absolutely radiant with our extensions, balayage, and keratin treatments. You'll find products from Aveda and Bumble and Bumble, so even when you leave the salon, you keep looking sensational. Call to make your appointment and look and feel amazing today.
I'm Cliff Meidel, two-time Olympic athlete in the sport of sprint kayaking. In 1986, my life changed forever when I struck 3 buried high-voltage cables while working on an excavation site. 30,000 volts of electricity blew through my body. I'm lucky to be alive and able to walk again. Accidents like mine can be avoided with a simple call to 811.
Accidents can happen to anyone. Know what's below. Always call 811 before digging. Brought to you by Alabama 811.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Derek Cunningham of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We're a proud supporter of St. James football. Being a member of this community and knowing that these students are part of our community, we at the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office would like to let you know that we support you this football season, and we're here for you this football season.
If joint pain or athletic injury has you out of a game, call the Houston Clinic team at 334-245-6605. Doctors Lee Murphy and Derek Wessner are seasoned healthcare providers working to provide high-quality sports medicine care to the athletes of the River region. Dr. Murphy is an orthopedic surgeon. His clinical focus is on shoulder, elbow, and knee disorders. Dr. Wessner is a veteran and primary care sports medicine physician specializing in the primary care treatment of all musculoskeletal conditions. Visit Doctors Murphy and Wessner at Houston Clinic on Taylor Road in Montgomery.
Well, we're back here at Carlisle Field, Sonny Brasfield and Brad Armagost, as we get ready to bring you kickoff in the play-by-play story of game number 10 for the 2025 season. Trojans stand at 2-7, and for the first time in 12 years, we know when the last game will be played. You know, we laughed about that last Friday night. When you make the playoffs, you really don't know when your last game is. But the Trojans came up short last week, losing to Tallahassee 13-7. and that dropped the Trojans out of any playoff contention. So we know tonight's game, senior night, will be the end of the road for the 2025 St. James football team, a football team that's had hard luck, the football team that's had a number of unfortunate breaks go against it, and a football team that faced challenges that occurred back in the summer that set this team up in a position where it was going to be extremely, extremely tough. But they took the playoff opportunity all the way to week 9, and you have to tip your hat to the football team for accomplishing that. It would have been easy to have rolled up the sidewalks when the Trojans stood at 1-6, but they found a way to get themselves in a position and really just came up a couple of bounces of the football down in the south end zone here at Carlisle Field last Friday night that could have put the Trojans in the playoffs. But tonight, the focus turns to something a little different. There will be 13 young men tonight who will play their last football game on this football field. And for most of them, in fact, really probably all of them, this will be the last football game they will play. And I mentioned in the opening, if you play, you remember that last one. And lots of times you remember that last one much more than you did the next to last one. If I go all the way back to the fall of 76, I can tell you about the last game. I don't even remember who we played in the next to last game. And so this one's important for these young men for that reason, because it is the last opportunity to get to play. You know, as we mentioned, Trojans last Friday night falling 13-7 to Tallahassee. St. James scored in the fourth quarter on a touchdown pass from Mason Craig to Grant Phillips. Just could not get over the hump. And as we mentioned, that's been the story all season, losing by 6 to Trinity, losing 14-7 to Montgomery Academy, losing by 6 last week to Tallahassee. It has been a season filled with challenges and disappointment, quite honestly, for these young men. But as Coach Larry Ware has told us several times, this football team has never given up. It's always played very, very hard. And I suspect that we will see nothing less than that tonight as St. James entertains the Munford Lions. This football team is just 1-7. Their only win against Talladega, 21-12 a month ago. It's only the third meeting between these two teams. They don't play very often. Played for the first time in 2014 in the playoffs. Munford came here to Carlisle Field and jumped all over the Trojans, defeating St. James 42-21. And then last year, the Trojans traveled up to Munford in Talladega County and kind of turned the tables. St. James led 42-16 early in the fourth quarter, and Munford tacked on a touchdown with 39 seconds to go. Trojans winning 42-24. Don't expect that kind of offensive showing tonight, just to be honest. Both teams in the bottom 10 in scoring offense in Class 4A. This is much more likely to be 21-7 than it is to be 42-28. And as sure as I say that, it'll be 42-28. But we expect a defensive game tonight. Trojans will try to run the football. So will Munford. St. James has had a difficult time in some games stopping the run. So has Munford, falling last week to Cleveland County 27-7. So, you know, this is a game between two teams both playing for the opportunity to close out this season in a positive way. Coach Michael Easley leads things for Munford in his 7th season with a losing record, 25-44. Did make the playoffs back in 2022 and lost in the first round to American Christian from up in Tuscaloosa. So that's kind of the preview of the game tonight. And as is our tradition on senior night, we're going to take a few minutes and talk to you about the 13 seniors on this high school football team. And we'll go at them in chronological order. Numerical order, that is, not chronological order, Sonny. It's been a long season. We will go in numerical order and talk a little bit about each of the seniors on this football team. And we'll start with number 1, Ford Bass, a running back on this football team, came out for football the first time as a junior last year, showed flashes as being a good runner, and then really, especially in the first half of the season, was the Trojans' go-to guy carrying the football. Not the biggest guy on this football team, but had run very, very hard. Big run 2 weeks ago against Cleveland County when the Trojans led only 7-0 in the second half on third down and about 12. St. James just trying to get positioned better to punt the ball away, and Ford broke a run of more than 40 yards down inside the Cleveland County 10. The Trojans punched it in for a 14-0 lead, and that was just about it for that football game. A real important run for that young man who we know will get to carry the football tonight and has played very, very hard for St. James. Number 5, Darian Williams. Came back out for football his senior year, and Darian has played corner for the Trojans and has played virtually every meaningful snap out there at cornerback this season. As a 10th grader, had a long run near the end of a St. James victory 2 years ago, about 85 yards for a touchdown. But Darian playing corner, done a fabulous job out there many times covering guys much taller than him, listed at 5'8". And so he has not backed down from anybody, made a couple of big stops last Friday night out there from the cornerback position. That's Darian Williams, number 5. Grant Phillips, number 6, leading rusher on this St. James football team for the season, 484 yards rushing on 88 carries. That's about a 5.5 yard per carry average, and that's good at every level of football. 7 touchdowns for Grant. Carried the ball a little bit his 10th grade year, but also was the leading rusher for St. James last season. On his career, Grant has 1,027 yards rushing, 9 rushing touchdowns on 211 carries, and that's also almost a 5 yards per carry average for his entire career. And having said all that, he played safety for the Trojans out there on the field, again, on virtually every play, played on special teams. A lot was asked of him when this season began. St. James without a quarterback, and you know that story if you've been with us all year. He and Mason Craig, who we'll talk about in a minute, shared the quarterbacking duties in the first 3 ball games, and then the Trojans turned to Mason at quarterback and put Grant full-time at the running back position. No question he would have had another 100, 150, maybe even 200 yards rushing this season if he had been at the tailback position all season. But what a leader for this football team, Grant Phillips, number 6. Mason Craig, number 7. For the first 3 seasons of his high school career, Mason was a wide receiver on this football team. But again, as we mentioned about Grant, he was pressed into action as a quarterback. He's thrown 72 passes this season, 36 of 72, 50% throwing the football, 2 touchdown passes this year, both of those to Grant Phillips, passed for 362 yards. Mason has run for his life a good bit of the time. St. James has had a real difficult time running the football against some of the higher ranked teams. St. James will finish this season having played 7 teams that will make the playoffs. And I dare to say there's not anybody else in the state that can say that about their schedule. St. James overpowered sometimes, but Mason has led this football team tough as nails out there, and then played the rover position on this team. Mason's a cornerback or a safety. St. James just shorthanded, forcing him into playing at that Trojan or outside linebacker position. And he did an outstanding job out there as well. Again, a great leader for the St. James football team, Mason Craig, number 7. Luke Catchings, who wears number 8, one of my favorite players off this football team. Luke listed at 5'7", and I don't think that'll stand the accuracy test. But I said several times this football season, I know he loves the game of football because he plays the game of football. and everybody he sees says, you're not big enough to play. He's played safety all season. Outstanding plays, a big interception against Trinity earlier in the season. Just tough as he can be. It exemplifies what St. James football is all about. Learning to have toughness over talent, and St. James talks about that all the time. And this young man has been a great example of that. Also played some receiver, a number of important catches, especially earlier in the season. And Luke will be missed for sure. Number 8, Luke Catchings. Dylan Hines, number 9. And I don't know where to begin with Dylan. He's one of those guys on a football team where everybody has to play both ways. The cliche is he's done everything except sell Coca-Colas at the concession stand, and I think he would have done that if he had been asked to. This young man played tight end on offense, defensive end on defense, again, playing virtually every play and handling the Trojans' kicking duties. Not only kicking off and handling the place kicking duties, but also punting, which means you play offense, you play defense, and then you play on all the kicking teams. You play every play. Didn't have the kind of year he had hoped in field goal efficiency, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that instead of standing on the sidelines, like most kickers in high school football, he was playing every play. And move from blocking at tight end on third down and then try to turn around and kick the football for a long field goal is a challenge for sure. He's got as strong a leg as anybody that St. James has played against in high school football level here in many, many years, and hopefully he'll get a chance to kick and to continue his football career if he chooses to do so. That's number 9, Dylan Hines. Again, we are going through and recognizing and honoring the 13 St. James seniors on this football team, and we're through Dylan Hines at number 9. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll pick up with the rest of the St. James senior class here on senior night. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. This is St. James football on WRBC.
Go, go, go! That's life. And at CB&S Bank, we help you keep up. We're redesigning financial freedom with the most sophisticated digital products. Check balances, pay bills, transfer funds, manage your card, and even deposit checks from wherever you are. Make purchases using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile device with Mobile Wallet in participating stores and restaurants. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
From all the employees at Adams Drugs, we want to say thank you to those who already trust us with your health care and prescription needs. If you are looking for a pharmacy, we would like to invite you to visit our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find a location nearest to you. We have 12 locations in the River region with services such as wellness screenings, blood pressure checks, and compounding, just to name a few. Please come in and experience the Adams Drugs difference. We look forward to serving you and your family.
All aboard for Healthy Smiles. At Dentistry for Children, they love to make kids smile. Dr. Schreiber and Dr. Thomas specialize in pediatric dentistry, treating infants, children, and patients with special needs. You can trust Dentistry for Children to provide the highest quality care for children of all ages. Beautiful smiles begin at Dentistry for Children. Call today to make your appointment with their professional, caring staff. Dentistry for Children in Montgomery and Wetumpka, proudly making kids smile for over 40 years.
Nothing gets your attention like the pain you get when it hurts to walk. When you have that pain, reach out to Southern Specialty Physicians. Dr. Brian Sellers is a board-certified vascular surgeon with over 15 years of experience. And Dr. Brandon McCullum is an experienced podiatrist. Southern Specialty Physicians are working to keep Alabama walking. Located across from the AUM Water Tower on Sydney Curve and online at ssp.care.
We're back here at Carlisle Field on senior night 2025, St. James versus Munford. Trojans hoping to improve their region record to 3-4 on the season with wins over Talladega and Cleburne County. We mentioned just a few moments ago the difficulty of this St. James Trojan schedule before we resume the recognition of the seniors on this football team, I thought I would make sure that everybody understood the point I was making earlier, and that is that St. James has played 7 teams that are already qualified for the playoffs with 2 weeks to go. St. James started the season against Catholic. The Knights are in Class 5A and will already qualify for the playoffs, have a chance to hold that second seed in their region. Also in non-region games, St. James played Montgomery Academy and Trinity. They're in the same 3A region. Montgomery Academy has already captured the region championship, and Trinity very likely to finish second in the region, but has already qualified for the playoffs. So that's 3 playoff teams the Trojans have faced. And then St. James played Bullitt County, Hanley, Booker T. Washington, and Tallahassee from the region that will all qualify for the playoffs as well. So 7 of the 10 teams on the Trojans schedule will be playing in the high school playoffs in 2 weeks. Trojans trying to defeat Munford tonight and would give St. James a 3-0 record against the non-playoff teams on the Trojans schedule. I think we'll pick back up in recognizing some of the remaining members of this senior class, 13 St. James senior football players. We just stopped a moment ago before the break with Dylan Hines, so we'll pick up as we stay in numerical order with Andrew Yancey, a senior wide receiver who played wide receiver late in the season, became a dependable running back for the Trojans. And then 2 weeks ago against Cleveland County with a number of injuries, I looked out there and he's playing nose guard. All 5'8", 180 of him playing nose guard against Cleveland County and got a big sack sprinting around the center and dropping the quarterback against Cleveland County. Andrew played, again, as I said, receiver earlier in the season, but when St. James moved to the wing tee, he moved to running back. We expect to see him carrying the football tonight. And just one of those seniors, again, that represents this high school so extremely well. Just a young man who's shown enormous leadership on this football team, a willingness to do anything he can to help this football team win. Number 14, Isaac Capilouto, who's a senior wide receiver. You'll see him in there tonight helping bring the plays in. He's also a strong player on the St. James special teams. Also will play cornerback on defense. And again, another one of those seniors who hoped this football season would not be ending tonight, but it is. He'll close out his St. James career tonight against Munford, Isaac Capilouto. Number 22, Andrew Shaleta, who battled injuries all season, but every Friday night you looked up and he was out there. We'll watch St. James practices, and there he is with difficulty getting around, leg injuries all season. And then Friday night, he's out there playing. And again, that's just that toughness over talent that St. James tries to hang its hat on. And Andrew has just been a great example of that. He held 4 extra points and field goals this season. First time he was the holder and did a fabulous job. Played cornerback all year, and then on offense played wide receiver, made a couple of big catches during the course of the season. Andrew will be missed for sure. That's Andrew Saleta, number 22. Let's stop for a minute and talk about Miles Zakowski. And I'll start with 4 years ago during the state championship run for this St. James football team, a little skinny kid, probably weighed about 140 as a 9th grader, made a tackle on a kickoff. And I said, "Who's that?" I looked down at my lineup and I go, "Man, this guy's going to be a football player because he's got a football name, Miles Zakowski." He has been a linebacker leader. This is the 2nd year as a full-time starter for this football team. And Miles played in the secondary as a 10th grader. and he has just been an enormous pleasure to watch play football. Became a running back because the team needed him halfway through the season. He has 324 yards rushing on 88 carries. But what this young man does is play football and play linebacker. He has been an integral part of this St. James defense. Can't get him off the field. Leg injury the last 3 weeks has really, really slowed him. But what an outstanding football player he has been for St. James for sure. And the Trojans will miss him next year. There's no question about that. That's number 30, Miles Zakowski. We'll jump all the way down to 64, Max Ward, a 3-year starter in the line for the St. James Trojans. He's played offensive tackle and defensive tackle. And like just about everybody else on this football team, Max has suffered with injuries during the course of this season. 2 weeks ago against Cleveland County, he would limp off the field so badly that, you really wanted to look out there and go, it's okay if you don't go back out there. Get a little drink of water, limp back out there on the field, and then when the ball was snapped, he played hard as anyone could be asked to play. Max has been an anchor in this offensive and defensive lines this season. And again, I don't want to continue to talk about toughness over talent, but certainly Max has played as hard and has led this football team and led that offensive line in an amazingly positive way. Number 65, starting center on this football team, Jack Caradori. And Jack has played extremely well his first year to start at center for the Trojans. And, this young man probably had among the toughest assignments for anyone on this football team. At the high school level, especially if you've got a good football team, you've got a big guy who plays nose guard. And if you don't know what nose guard means, that's the guy that lines up right over the center. And every time the center snaps the ball, he pops him in the head. And it's always a big guy. Jack's listed at 201 pounds, and that's an exaggeration. But he's fought against big guys all season long and done an outstanding job for this St. James football team. And Jack will certainly be missed next season as the Trojans start thinking about 2026. That's number 65, Jack Caradori. And finally, we'll end up with Dawson Knowles, senior tight end, wing back, also played defensive tackle. Dawson missed the first couple of games and then played 2 or 3 games wearing number 56. And when the Trojans shifted to the wing tee, they moved him to wing back. And Dawson, or kind of tight end in the slot, really. Dawson wore number 87 the last half of the season. He's another one of those guys who's a holdover, who was a 9th grader on the 2022 state championship team. And Dawson played a great deal as one of the first guys off the bench in both the offensive and defensive lines on that state championship team. And then 2 years ago, when the Trojans made it to the state semifinals before dropping a real heartbreaker to Mobile Christian, Dawson was a 2-way starter on that football team. He has played doggone near every play this season as well, like many others on this list. And Dawson Knowles, the 13th senior on this 2025 St. James football team. And these young men, again, have represented this school and their class, the teachers and the faculty of this school in an enormously positive way. 2 weeks ago against Cleveland County, the band was off to a competition. Cheerleaders didn't come to the game, and so it was the football team and the parents. St. James won that football game 14-7 to force the winner-take-all game last week against Tallahassee. And these 13 seniors didn't want to end that game without singing the alma mater. That's really a tradition here at St. James. The football team comes after the game and faces the band. The band plays the alma mater, and the student body sings. And so 2 weeks ago in Cleveland County, there was no band. But when the game was over, there was a singing of the alma mater led by these 13 seniors. And that's really how I will remember this class. And that is the way that they conducted themselves with class. It's St. James versus Munford in the final game of the 2025 season. You stay with us. We'll be back with a visit from our head coach, Larry Ware, in just 2 minutes. He's Brad Armagost, and I'm Sonny Brassfield, and this is St. James Football on WRBC.
When you speak with patients at Just for Grins Orthodontics, you hear things like, the staff is great. My daughter's teeth look perfect. I've been using them for over 2 years, and my service has been nothing short of amazing. Or, my teeth have always made me a little self-conscious. Just for Grins fixed that, and not only do my teeth look great, they make me feel great. If you or your family need braces or Invisalign in a lively environment using the latest technologies with over 3 decades of experience, let's make the smile of your dreams a reality. Visit justforgrinsortho.com. A fire can spread through your home or business in less than 2 minutes. That's why it's important to think ahead and have the proper fire protection installed before it's needed. Brendel Sprinkler Company can inspect your current system and help make sure that you have the proper equipment when it's needed. Brendel works in new construction, existing homes, and renovations. They not only want to help extinguish fires, they want to save lives. Since 1960, with over 5,000 successful installations. Find them online at brendelsprinkler.com.
Confidence, experience, credibility. When your family is at stake, you need an attorney who's built a reputation on these 3 words. Katie Steenwinder. Whether it's divorce, custody, adoptions, or child support, Katie Steenwinder. Serving clients from Prattville and Wetumpka to Montgomery and Elba, Katie Steenwinder has developed her reputation with credibility, experience, and confidence. Call the law office of Katie Steenwinder in Montgomery, 262-2844. When your family is at stake, Katie Steenwinder. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
If you're looking for commercial real estate, Moore Company Realty is your go-to choice. The experienced team has a deep understanding of local markets and can help you find the perfect commercial property for sale or lease. They also offer comprehensive commercial property management services to ensure your investment is well taken care of. Their expertise and dedication to client satisfaction has allowed them to thrive for over 130 years. Find out more at moorecompanyrealty.com.
So we get closer to kickoff here on the final game of the 2025 season, St. James versus Munford. Got a minute or two to visit again with head coach Larry Ware. Coach, hope everything's gone well this week. The weather's been beautiful for you for sure.
Yeah, it has been. It's what we call football weather. Kind of helps with fatigue also.
Well, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask you about as we get ready for senior night, about the health of your team. Where are you? Is everybody able to go tonight?
You know, you're not going to ever be totally healthy at this point in the year, you know, coming up on our 10th game. But, you know, we're healthy enough and we expect everybody to play that can play. So we're banged up just like everybody else, you know, and but we'll put a good product on the field, whether we are limping or not. So we'll be okay.
That's right. We talked a lot about Max Ward the last couple of weeks, limping on and off the field, and they snapped the ball. And, you know, you just kind of say, all right, I'm going to grit my teeth and go.
That's right. And that's the kind of kid we have in Max and all of our kids. You know, hey, coach, put me in. I'm ready to go. Miles Zukowski, you know, he's battling bum shoulder, you know. Dylan's still dealing with a hip, you know, but they're there. That's all you can expect from them.
Well, I wanted to ask you, you know, it's been an unusual year here at St. James. You're the athletic director. You became athletic director / interim coach. How did you enjoy things being out on the field this year? How'd the year go with you?
You know, it's bittersweet because as an AD, you know, I'm stuck in an office behind a computer most of the time or doing paperwork. You know, being the interim head coach, I'm mingling and mixing it up with kids, you know, and that is the joy of my day, you know, getting to go to practice and talking and interacting with kids and coaches, you know, just being a people person, so to speak. But it's bittersweet because it's come to an end and decisions got to be made, you know, and I really enjoyed the kids this year. Just just getting to learn different things about them.
Well, as football coach is a different guy. So many people, they get to adulthood and say, okay, who had an influence on your life, and it's your pastor, and if you played football, it was your football coach.
That's exactly right.
And there are 13 seniors on this team, and I know you're going to be closer to those 13 guys than you would have been if you hadn't had this opportunity.
That's exactly right. And it's family. That's what it becomes. When you're the coach of a team, whether you're assistant coach or a head coach, doesn't matter. Those kids become family to you because you see them every day, and they depend on you and they listen to you. You give them advice, and you're able to mold and have a fingerprint on their lives.
Well, as we get ready, it's St. James versus Munford tonight, final game of the 2025 season. If I said, tell me your favorite 2 or 3 moments about the year, not the score, but what you're talking about, the time and relationships with the young men.
It won't be measurable outside of the games because they all happen inside. When we're doing devotion, I have kids on Wednesdays do devotion. I had some strong kids that stood up this year and did devotion on Wednesdays, and that was very impressive. Just to see those kids grow, inside the locker room. So just to say that, I have a vision of a favorite moment on the playing field or during a game, I wouldn't be doing it justice because I'm seeing the growth inside the locker room, and that's the most important thing to me.
That's that the tendency is to look at this season, 2-7, and say it wasn't a success, air quotes. That's really not fair. And it's really something that's said by somebody who never was in a football locker room.
Exactly right. People outside of the football locker room measure your success on your wins and losses, where your wins and losses are behind the scenes. If a kid commits himself to Christ, that's a win. If a kid's doing devotion and learning spirituality, that's a win. If a kid is, accepting discipline where he wasn't able to accept discipline before, those are wins. So they're immeasurable wins outside of, the locker room and as far as being on the playing field. It's different, and our kids, that's just their makeup. That's who they are. They're winners off the field.
Well, tonight it's St. James versus Munford. Talk a little bit about what we'll see from Munford tonight.
Yeah, Munford's going to bring some big kids. They're huge in the higher number area. They're going to do some things defensively that could cause us some issues. And I'm sure, watching film, those things that they're doing could play beneficial for them as far as their defensive front is concerned. They're going to probably wear the fat helmet. So they'll look a little different on the field.
Oh, I got you.
But, they have some really good athletes, and talent-wise, they measure up to a lot of the teams that we have played already. But, just like, we were saying in staff meetings, they don't play, up to their standard in terms of the way they start the game. It tapers off real quick, I don't know what the cause of that is. I don't know if it's because of the way the game is going or if they're losing or winning. I don't know. But, the level of intensity, you can tell, just kind of falls off a little bit. I don't want our kids to fall into that trap of not matching their intensity or trying to match their lack of intensity.
Well, that's not going to happen. We hadn't seen that. And, Coach, this is the last game for 13 seniors, and I know it's important to you to get a win with them. And I know I've kept you from talking to your guys, so let me let you go, and we'll get ready for kickoff. Good luck to you tonight.
I appreciate it, Sam. Go Trojans.
We'll be right back in 2 minutes. This is St. James Football on WRBZ.
When most people think of landscaping, they picture a few shrubs and a patch of grass. But at Tanner Landscaping, we transform spaces into lush, vibrant paradises. Based in Pike Road, our family-owned business specializes in both residential and commercial landscaping and irrigation. Our talented team is dedicated to making your landscape dreams come true. Find us on Facebook at Tanner Landscaping, LLC. We are proud supporters of St. James football. Go Trojans.
When a sports injury has you sidelined, Baptist Ortho Now offers comprehensive orthopedic care with no appointment from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with board-certified specialists treating injuries and expert physical therapists administering everything from sports medicine to everyday recovery treatment. Baptist Ortho Now, getting you off the bench and back in the action. East Chase across from Target.
In challenging times, trust is everything. At the Bush Law Firm, they specialize in debtors' and creditors' rights, offering expert legal restructuring for businesses facing bankruptcy. As one of only 2 firms in Montgomery County equipped to handle such cases, the focus is on guiding you through insolvency with precision and care. Restructuring for a brighter future starts here. The Bush Law Firm. Navigate your path to stability. Visit us online at bushlegalfirm.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
If you want to see your money grow without a whole lot of fuss, well, you're sure to find some peace of mind at Riverbank and Trust.
Hi, this is Billy Wiggum with Riverbank and Trust. When you need a winning game plan for your finances, trust our home team of community bankers. From local banking expertise to newest innovations and technology, we have all the right strategies for your financial success. Experience the home team advantage for yourself at Riverbank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Well, we're about ready to go here at Carlisle Field. It's St. James and Munford in the last game of the 2025 season. Neither team will play next Friday night, so it's one of those unusual circumstances in high school football, Brad, where one of these teams is going to finish the year by winning their last game. You know, when you make the playoffs, you only win the last game if you get the big blue trophy.
That was such a great point made this morning at the breakfast that most of the time you're going to end the season losing because you get knocked out of the playoffs. Yeah. And tonight, this senior class, some guys that have really, really fought hard this whole season to make this a team with a roster of 33, which is what we dressed tonight, you know, have a chance to go out winners.
Well, they do. And you said it, and we've talked a little and only a little in terms of details about, you know, what this team has been through this starting in about the middle of June. And we're not going to talk much about it tonight other than to say these 13 guys all had ample opportunity to bow out at some point, and they didn't. And it's been really gratifying for me to watch because I get to spend a little more time with the coaches about how close this group has grown. Yeah. And I think what you'll find is 10 years from now when they come back for their 10-year reunion, these 13 guys are going to still be real close. Yeah. They'll still be keeping up with each other, even if they don't go to the same university, even though they don't live in Alabama. I think this group will be very close.
I totally agree. I mean, they're not going to forget the fact that they wanted their senior season to be special. Yeah. And football is a very special game, especially in our culture in the South. And these guys decided they were going to love each other and create a bond, a group of 13 of them, and go out as a winner tonight, which is I expect them to do. I expect them to play hard, and I expect them to play disciplined football, and I expect this senior class to go out winners.
Well, and we talked about this morning sitting at our table at breakfast. You know, this team's 2-7. They've won the 2 games they should have won, air quotes. Yeah. They played 2 teams that they had better personnel, and they won those. They had 3 games they could have won, air quotes.
Within 7 points on a couple of them.
Lose to Montgomery Academy, 14-7. Throw an interception inside the 5 and fumble the ball inside the 5. Lose to Trinity 34-28. They led with 6 or 7 minutes to go. And then last Friday night in the game that would have gotten St. James into the playoffs, you dropped that one 13-7. And and have first and goal inside the one on a run that's called back because of a holding penalty. So, it's been one of those years, but these young men will never forget, I don't think, what happens here in the next couple of hours. And we're glad you're with us here on WRBZ. The Trojans will kick it off and defend the south end zone. We were talking during the pregame, Dylan Hines, who has just been an outstanding kicker for this St. James team, will boot it away here on the near hash mark.
And you can't help but, and you and I were talking about it before the broadcast. I mean, 6'2", 210.
Yeah.
And this guy's got a leg, and just to have the guts to walk on someplace and show that off.
I'm just telling you, he can kick the football far enough. He has a strong enough leg, and I say that, and he won't put it in the end zone consistently tonight. But you remember the Trinity game?
Yeah,
he kicked 4 kickoffs in the end zone and 2 punts in the end zone. They started on the 20 6 times.
Yeah,
and
and it made a difference in the game.
A huge weapon. Huge weapon. Munford in red pants, white jerseys with red numbers. Won't be easy to see across the field. And they're wearing the safety helmets, Brad, if you hadn't noticed. And if you're watching on Facebook, you will see that their helmets look much bigger than St. James. We're ready to go. Dylan Hines will boot it away. This one will be taken at about the 15 with running room near the 20, but he's hit and driven back by Henry Wright. They'll get the ball to about the 35, and Munford will start there. They're very much a multiple team, Brad. We'll see all kinds of different formations. They love something you'll remember from our 3A days playing Dale County. They love the midline read, the midline option, where you don't block the defensive lineman that's closest to the center, and they read it, and we'll see a bunch of that tonight. The quarterback is Braden Nichols. He is a junior for this Munford team, and their leading rusher, so he will keep the football. We'll get the St. James starters for you here in a second because they're about ready to go out there, but we know Zakowski in one linebacker position and Henry Wright at the other. We'll get you the secondary and the defensive line in a moment. The tight end shifts from the right to the left. They run straight off left guard. No, not much there.
Nothing there. Steenwinder on the tackle.
Up front for the Trojans, it's Steenwinder, it's Max Ward, and it's Landon Wiggum along with the aforementioned Dylan Hines. The secondary, the corners, are Andrew Saleda and Darian Williams. The safeties are Luke Catchings and Grant Phillips. It's 2nd down and 7. Rolling right is the quarterback. And did he get hit? Wow. At the 34, Dylan Hines.
Man, I hope y'all saw that on Facebook. He blew up the blocker. And went straight over the blocker and then took the quarterback down. Great tackle for loss.
The ball at the 35 right here in front of us. It's 3rd down and 10. Just joining us, we're getting started. St. James and Munford on a beautiful night for football. The backfield's empty. Chased out of the pocket with some running room. First down, I think. He's bumped out of bounds across the way is Nichols, but he's got the first down on a big scramble.
Something happened on the right end. I couldn't tell. We got sucked inside, and he had a whole bunch of green grass in front of him.
All the way out to the 46.
And by the way, great job, Scott Perry, on the script Trojans at the 50-yard line. Looks very nice.
Very good out there. All right, the ball, the 46. St. James, a little confusion in the secondary. Got to turn him back in, and Zakowski will get him at about the 47. They ran the bubble screen over here with 2 blockers, and St. James had only 1 defender against those 2 blockers. But Zakowski, from his linebacker position, got his hands on him and dropped him after a pickup of only 3. Nice pass by the quarterback, Nichols. Big guy out here who caught that pass, number 99, Kelvin Castleberry. At 6'2". here to the short side of the field, right in front of us at Carlisle Field. This one will be blown dead, illegal motion. So that'll be that'll counteract the gain on first down, and it'll be second and about 12. Take the ball inside the 45 to the 44.
You know, Coach Corley was right this morning. They got some size.
Yep.
This is not a small group of players, man.
Their only win against Talladega. And for those listening at home who have been have corrected me, I said it correctly, Talladega. All right, it's at second down, and we'll call it 12. Man-to-man all the way across the field, but they'll run that zone read.
Oh,
the corners turned out there across the 50, and they didn't bump him out of bounds. The ball's knocked loose. See if the Trojans got on it. They did.
Yes.
It's a fumble, and the Trojans have it.
Nice job. Who was that?
I'm not sure
That's
who
Grant
I'm
Phillips
looking.
got it.
Zakowski knocked it loose to no surprise.
I think Grant Phillips gets
Grant
up with
Phillips fell on it. Trojans will take over. 9:21 to go. Munford ran the football last Friday night against Cleburne County. They ran the ball very successfully on the first possession, but had a couple of penalties. On the second possession, they went 80 yards and scored and never crossed the 50-yard line again.
Oh, goodness.
Just really, really unusual. Trojans with the ball on their own 44. Mason Craig at quarterback. St. James in that single wing or the wing T, rolling left. Craig looking. Zakowski's wide open, and he missed it.
My goodness.
You know, sometimes that's the hardest pass to complete.
Man, he was open by a mile.
He was. Across the 50-yard line. Would have easily been a first down, but it'll be second and 10. Ball on the far hash mark. Trojans in their blue jerseys with white numbers, wearing that traditional white helmet with the blue and gold stripes, and the Trojan on the side and white pants trimmed in gold and blue. This is my favorite uniform. St. James with the wing, shifting from the right to the left here to the wide side of the field, and they'll run it this way. Phillips looking for running room.
Oh, yeah.
Stretched it out here near the 49. It'll be a pickup of about 5, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
I thought he was going to break it farther than that. Somebody got a hand on him and just snatched him back.
Just slowed him down enough. The ball on the 49. St. James needs to get it across the 50 to the 46, so it's 3rd and 5. Wide receiver this way, Michael Hassel. He's a junior. You'll hear his name a bunch next fall. No question about that. Hands under center is Craig. Straight ahead, Zakowski. Did they get his face mask or was it his jersey? Either way, he got very, very little. St. James ran off right guard. And is there a flag? I don't see one, but Zakowski lost his helmet.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was a face mask on it. They
Don't
just
usually
missed it.
lose that helmet without there being a reason. It looks like St. James is going to go 3 and out and punt. Not able to take advantage of the turnover.
All right, they've got a fire drill going on defense here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
Now another guy. Okay, now they're covering the wide out across the way or the gunner.
Now we got a timeout.
Oh, they didn't start the play. He's resetting the play clock out there. Okay, the Trojans with the ball on the 49, unable to take advantage of the fumble recovery. They'll boot it away here. Hines with a good snap. This is going to be a high kick across the way, hit at the 30 and take a bounce for Munford back to the 34, and that's not going to be Hines' best kick. Munford will have their second possession, 7:30 to go in the first quarter, no score. They'll mark it at the 34. See if St. James can play the option a little better. They run that read option a couple of ways. They run the midline where you don't block the defensive lineman the closest to the center and you read him, and then they run the outside read where you're reading the defensive end. Hurt St. James with both plays, honestly. All right, in a trips formation with no running back now. But now the running back will shift back, and they'll read option it, and there is nowhere to go. Dylan Hines on the stop.
Did you see that?
I saw the flag. Did he call him for unnecessary roughness?
They're going to call unnecessary roughness on Dylan Hines.
Man, Hines drove him back, and he did kind of sling him down, I think. No one happy down here on the St. James side, but that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul. Would have been second and about 20. Yeah, I don't think that should have been marked off from where it occurred, but it was. Taking it all the way out to the 49. First down, Munford. A little sluggish, we'll say. Cheerleaders down in front of us. Stretched a little bit, and the defense turns him outside. That's the running back, Curry.
Henry Wright.
Henry Wright on
right in the gap, right where he needed to be as a linebacker.
Trojans made the running back bounce out one gap, and the linebacker had him right there. No gain. It's second down and 10. I wish you knew how to steal signals, Brad, because they're waggling all the plays in. Back to pass. Throw this one long. Saleda.
Oh, he caught that.
Had a nice position on him, but the ball right between his arms, and that was completed all the way down to the Trojan 15.
You just really got to focus on the ball. It went right between his hands. And you just got to get that arm up, at least one arm up, and pull that ball, slap that ball away.
First down, Munford at the 15.
It's going to stop right here. Come on.
Quarterback is in the shotgun, Nichols. Tails back Curry behind him. Nichols on a little read option is going to sprint to the sidelines. Picked up a couple, and that's going to be all.
Shaleta pushed him out of bounds.
Going to only give him a yard. My guess is they're going to be in a place where they're going to play 4 downs here. St. James only 10 men on the field.
What is that?
They shift both sides of the line. Never seen that before. Now they throw a flag. St. James have 12 guys out there. Now the officials counting. Yep.
It was us?
St. James had, St. James had 12 players on the field.
Yeah.
That's 20 yards in penalties on this drive that started at the Munford 34. Now it's second down and 4, and they're shifting the line again if you're watching us on Facebook. Quarterback again is Nichols. Running back Curry, who's a senior. They'll hand it to him, running the stretch out here. St. James turns him back in. Nice tackle by who else? Grant Phillips.
Yep.
It's going to be third down and 5. Lost a yard. 5:25 to go in the quarter. St. James has run 3 plays. Big play here. Don't believe that we'll see Munford try a field goal, but you know, Brad, I'm generally right about 12% of the time. So
and wrong 88%.
Yes, you did. You're a banker, aren't you?
Yeah.
You did that math real quickly. All right, the ball on the 10. 3rd and 5. St. James jumps offside in the neutral zone.
Dang. Come on, boys.
That's 3 penalties on this drive, and that's going to give them a first down. And it'll be first and goal.
And that will be good enough for a line first down and goal.
Not how Coach Larry Ware hoped things would start tonight.
We just got to settle down a little bit. Everybody just is a little on edge.
Absolutely. All right, Munford looks across the sidelines, and here's the thing. If you want to steal signs, Brad, only one coach is waggling, so giving the signals. They'll run the midline read with Curry down inside to about the 2.
Curry's going to take the ball down to about the 2.
That was right again on the tackle. His third of the night.
Already. Clock at 4:26 and running. Munford will bring in a couple of extra linemen here. And one of the big linemen in the backfield for blocking purposes. That's Leonard at 265. The snap bobbled and covered all the way back at the 10.
Yes, Zukowski on the cover up, I guess.
Snap was a little high.
Yep.
And Nichols kind of batted it in the air, wasn't able to catch it.
Well, the good thing is it's 3rd and 9. Get a little bit of a stop here, and you're going to put them. I don't know if they have a field goal kicker or not.
I don't think you'll see a field goal attempt here. All right, 3 wide receivers across the way to the wide side of the field, and they'll throw a little swing pass. Trojans have it defended, but they missed 2 tackles, and it's a touchdown. That's a TD pass to Curry out of the backfield. It's just a little swing pass. 3:28 to go in the quarter, and it's 6-0. That's a 9-play drive. 9 plays, 66 yards, and 25 yards of penalties. Extra points blocked. 3:28 to go. Trojans trail 6-0. We'll be right back. This is St. James football on WRBZ.
Has an accident cramped your style? At Montgomery Paint and Body, we turn uh-oh into wow. Whether it's a tiny fender bender or total body repair, we'll have your ride looking stunning, maybe even better than before. When life throws a collision your way, count on us to smooth out the stress. We don't just fix cars. We treat every customer like family, because that's what the Turners are all about. From little fender benders to total body repair, visit Montgomery Paint and Body, East Shirley Lane on the East Boulevard, or call 27-REC. At Montgomery Paint and Body, your vehicle will be as good as new, maybe better.
Zaxby's is more than just a humble chicken joint. It's a humble chicken joint with the best sauces in the world. See, at Zaxby's, you don't just get their famous hand-breaded chicken fingers, fried to golden perfection with that flavor you know and love. At Zaxby's, you get the sauce. Dip, dunk, and drizzle with your choice of 12 different sauces like Zax sauce, tongue torch, and hot honey mustard. So if you want a whole lot of sauce, you need to find yourself a Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
All right, Munford will boot the ball away. Over the head of the St. James return guys. They need to sprint back there, because if it doesn't get in the end zone, Trojans jog back after the ball, and it's gonna be returned by Delbridge out to about the 11, and St. James will be backed up in their side of the field deeply again. They're going to start at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, probably should have had somebody deeper.
Yeah, St. James return guys were – the deepest guy was at the 30, and when the ball was kicked over their head, I guess they thought it was going in the end zone, and they started jogging, and it hit on about the 10 and looked more like a wedge shot than a kick. And, St. James with the football on possession 2, trailing 6-0. Craig under center for Bass back there in the backfield. They'll toss it to Zukowski. Nothing. Lost a couple.
Yeah, nothing.
St. James got to spread them out a little bit. A loss of a yard, and it's going to be – is there a flag? The officials talk it over. Not sure what that was about.
No flag.
You see the officials after the play stop and chat it up, but no flag. All right. Craig under center, 2nd and 11, closer to 12. They'll run a little counter sweep and nothing again.
Nothing.
It's going to be 3rd down and 12, maybe even 13. Trojans need to get all the way out to the 21, and the ball's at about the 8.
Who was that on the carry?
Oh, that was Bass.
That's what I thought.
From
He
the
came
wing
from the wing, yeah.
Position.
Minus 2 yards.
All right, this is don't like the feel of this, Brad. Craig under center, still in that Wing T formation, and Craig will roll to his left, looking, chased, sacked. Got to get rid of the football. Trojans will be 3 and out again. The ball's back to the 8. Craig rolled left, and St. James really has not been able to protect the passer enough to drop back.
Yeah. Just
to be honest, they rolled him right to the wide side of the field, but that cuts down the field, and he only had 2 receivers. Both of those were covered. Hines stands back deep in his own end zone. The snap's good. This is a better kick. They'll be taken at the 40 on a fair catch, and great field position for Munford. 1:58 to go in the first quarter, and this will be Munford's 3rd possession of the first quarter. St. James yet to make a first down.
Yeah, and the defense is, on the field a good bit right now.
Well, let's see. St. James has run 6 plays, and Munford has run 9, 10, 14.
Not a good stat.
Big possession right here. St. James got to corral this zone read, and there it comes again on the midline, and the quarterback keeps it, and there's nobody home. He'll slide down and only pick up a couple.
Yeah, that was strange.
It's a little strange. Sprinted out here. I don't know if he thought he was farther down the field than he was.
2 yards. I bet he wished he hadn't done that.
He slid into third base and popped right up.
Yeah.
Ball here on the near hash at the 38. 2nd and 8 for Munford. In the spread offense. They'll run the midline read again. The quarterback keeps it, breaks about 2 tackles.
Dylan Hines on the tackle.
Yep, Hines got his hand on him.
His 3rd tackle of the night.
All right, this is a big play for St. James. Force them to punt here if you can limit how much yardage is picked up. It's 3rd and 8 from the Trojan 38. Play clock's at 15, game clock at 45 seconds. They will have to snap this.
Got 10 now.
All look at their wristbands. Play clock at 5. They get it off. They're going to run a midline screen, and they blew this one dead. They call timeout across the way.
No, it's a flag. Way over there on the 40.
Okay.
5-yard penalty.
All right, that's just the old 1980 screen. The quarterback drops straight back. The linemen let the defensive lineman come past them, and then the linemen are going to block. He tried to dump it over the head, and they ran it last week against Cleveland County for about 50 yards.
Ooh.
That's a 5-yard penalty, and that's going to make it 3rd and 13. The ball back at the Trojan 43. They need to get it to the 30. St. James desperately needing to force a punt. Rolling to his left is the quarterback on a corner blitz. My goodness, the receiver's wide open.
Wide open.
That was B.J. Anderson on a 3rd and 13. Nichols pass completed to Anderson all the way down inside the 20. I say all the time I don't believe in momentum, but
I think pretty quick here I'd get a timeout and talk to this defense.
Yeah, there's it's a disappointing football team that they didn't make the playoffs, but you got a game to play.
Yeah.
That's Curry running off left guard. Pick up a 3 or 4.
Steenwinder on another tackle.
And that's the end of the quarter. Munford leads 6-0. We're going to take a 60-second break. We'll be right back. This is St. James football on WRBZ.
Need a little good news in your life? Well, here's the deal. State Farm has new, lower car insurance rates in Alabama. So now you can get the great service and convenience of State Farm agent Breck Honey at an even better price. That's right. State Farm can help you save more cash and get the good neighbor service you deserve. It's the real deal for car insurance. State Farm agent Breck Honey is ready to help you save, Montgomery. Call my office today at 334-272-8423. That's 272-8423. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you or your family is a landowner, here is an important thing to know from On Point Habitat Management. The best way to improve the aesthetics and wildlife habitat quality of your property is with a prescribed fire burn. On Point's goal is to never send the landowner a bill, but to use funding available from the Department of Agriculture to accomplish the goals for your property. Consultations are free. Applications for the funding is free. Reach out to them at onpointhabitat@gmail.com.
Back at Carlisle Field, the Trojan defense desperately needing to make a stop here. Munford with the ball. It's second, we'll call it 6. The ball at the 15, 16 yards. Check that. I'll go ahead and go backward in time and throw a check that in there. Maybe that'll conjure up some STJ defense from a few years ago. Man in motion, left to right. They'll hand it off to Curry. Zakowski can't hit him in the backfield, but he pushes him out at the line of scrimmage.
Just as effective, the 12th man, the sidelines.
That's right. Just push him out of bounds.
Yep.
You were calling for a timeout. You mentioned during the break you got your timeout.
Yeah. They needed it.
See if the Trojans can make a play right here. It's 3rd down and 7 from the 16. And based on how poorly that extra point was kicked, they're not trying a field goal. They are going to call timeout. We'll keep it right here. There are a couple of pretty big games in the region, although the Trojans not making the playoff. But Handley and Booker T. Washington playing tonight in what is essentially a championship game for the region title.
Yeah, so right now, Handley 7, Booker T. Washington 6 in the first quarter. Let's see, Andalusia 10, Catholic 0 right now. Bullitt County, Cleburne County 0-0. We've got Houston Academy 7, Trinity 7. Didn't Houston Academy win state last year?
No.
Year before?
No, they haven't. I don't think they've ever won a state championship.
I don't know why that rings a bell. Jackson 28, Satsuma nothing.
Oh,
first quarter.
Shock.
7.
They may have only run 4 plays.
Yeah.
and up 28. All right, it's 3rd down and 7. Ball outside the 16. Line to makes just inside the 10. Quarterback Nichols rolling to his left. Rolling, chased it. This one will be intercepted for sure. Saleda on the pick.
Nice job. Completely underthrown.
Yep. That's the kind of thing you do when you're having a tough year.
I know.
They come back and run it on 4th down.
Yeah.
He throws it into a crowd, and the Trojans turn them away.
I mean, it wasn't even close. But, hey, 2 turnovers in just about the first quarter.
Yep.
The first,
the first 12 minutes and 24 seconds.
24 seconds of play. So keep that in the back of your head. And let's see if we can capitalize. We've got to get some momentum on offense. We have done nothing. We have got 3 yards of offense.
Not much right there either, guys. Goodness. Trojans start on their own 10. No. Started on their own 8.
Zakowski again, 1 yard gain. Or I guess 2 yards, excuse me.
I think we've got to get them out of the box. They've got a couple of big guys, but generally they're not any bigger than St. James. There's no reason that the Trojans can't block these guys. Mason Craig's going to go in a little semi-shotgun here. Take the snap, and they'll run the inside counter and not lay a hand on the defensive end.
We didn't block anybody.
A big loss for St. James. They'll actually give him some forward progress
Was that-
very
generous.
Generously.
Was that Phillips? Was that Phillips on the carry?
I think.
I think
out
it
of
was.
the wing.
Yeah. Good Lord. All
right. It's 3rd and 9. St. James, not only they not made a first down, really not close. Craig, here comes a blitz. They at least jumped in the neutral zone.
Well, but our 14 over here, he took off too.
Our wide receiver moved too.
Our wide receiver.
I think they may say that they were in the neutral zone before the wide receiver moved. Let's see.
Or maybe it's offsetting. No,
they're going to say, in high school football, once someone gets in the neutral zone,
Okay.
then the play stopped. So
Okay, so it didn't matter what Capilouto did.
that's right. All right, it'll be 3rd down and 4 now for the Trojans. Big play. Early in the second quarter, trailing 6-0. Rolling to the right, Craig.
Run it.
Yeah, but he threw it to Zakowski. Is that Zakowski or is that? No, that was
That's
completed
Yancey.
to Yancey
Yeah, nice.
for a first down. Craig rolled this way and just dumped it off to Yancey for the first down. And you were right, Brad. He
Nice.
could have run for it. But Yancey was open.
Yeah.
And unlike the first play of the game, where I think Craig was just a little too careful, he went ahead and threw that ball. Trojans were at the St. James 25. Run a little counter out there and get one guy blocked. He's got some room.
Yes.
Turn the corner inside to the 40, across the 40 to the 42. First down, St. James. That's Phillips on the carry. That's the buck sweep out of the wing T formation. All the way out to the 40-yard line. First down, Trojans. A little bounce in their step after 2 nice positive plays on offense. Ball at the 40-yard line. Man in motion across is Dylan Hines. He resets. Craig, straight hand off to Yancey. Got a couple. That's it. Running off left guard. That's a play that's called the down. Now, I told you the 3 basic plays in single wing football last Friday night, Brad. Do you remember?
No.
I gave you one, the down, okay? And the play before that, we ran the buck sweep. There you go. I'm making sure you're listening to me.
I'm listening.
And the other is the counter.
Counter.
The counter, the down, the buck sweep.
The counter, the down, the buck sweep.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Man in motion across the formation.
I'm a defensive guy.
There we go. A little
Yeah.
better running and blocking at the point of attack. A pickup of about 6 or 7. Is that Yancey again? I think so.
Yep.
Out to the 48, and it's 3rd and a couple. 7:38 to go. Trojans trail 6-0, but have moved this ball off their own 8 out to the 48. They'll need to get the nose of the football to the 50. Capilouto here, wide receiver, near the press box. Hands under center is Craig. Quarterback sneak. May have picked it up. He did across the 50. That's another first down for St. James. I like that.
And he kind of bounced to the
Bounced
left.
out a little.
He kind of went forward and went left and went left.
Instead of just right behind his center, almost more behind the left guard.
Yeah.
The offensive line out there for the Trojans, not sure I've given it to you. Jack Caradori at center. Jake Green and Will Steenwinder at the guards. Max Ward and Landon Wiggum at the tackles. Dawson Knowles at tight end. And Dylan Hines at the wing. Running to the wide side, nothing. Let me tell you what we're seeing, Brad. We're seeing what we saw last Friday night from Tallahassee, and that is they're running a guy in each A-gap.
Yeah.
If you're not at least a moderate football guy, the A gap's the gap, but the space between the center and the guard on each side, then they're just running guys in both gaps, completely disturbing the ability to hand the ball off and for the running backs to get any head of steam. And it's 2nd down and 10. St. James got to block down and run outside these guys. Man in motion. Here's
Right here.
Offord with it. No, that's Phillips. Phillips going to be very, very close to the first down, a little short, running here to the wide side of the field. Much better there, blocking down.
Much better.
I think that's what Coach Ware just said to Jake Green, who came across to talk to him.
All right, I just do the quarterback sneak
Yeah,
again.
3rd and a yard.
But on 4th down, you're going for it anyway.
Yeah, you're going for it, but their nose guard's not a big guy. I mean, I sneak it anytime I can. Zakowski got it, but not by a lot.
Close. Yep, they gave it to him.
Trojans trail 6-0, 5 minutes to go before halftime. This has already been a 6-minute drive, Brad. And the Trojans with the ball at the 39.
Well, Zakowski committed a sin then.
What?
He got in a tough, tight spot and then turned his back. That's not the way to do it.
Got the first down, go down.
Drive it, man.
Hands under center's Craig again, still in that wing formation. Off right tackle is Yancey. Yancey in the clear. Yancey to the 5.
How about that? How about that?
Touchdown, St. James. That's a 39-yard TD run by Yancey. His first rushing touchdown of his career. What a
great
present on senior night.
They are totally keying on Zakowski and Phillips.
That's a 7-minute and 9-second drive.
Nice.
92 yards from the Trojan 8. And Dylan Hines will attempt to give St. James the lead. Offsides. I'm sure they blew the whistle. But Hines kicked the ball almost to Troy down there on the south end zone. But because they stepped in the neutral zone, they'll blow it dead. St. James will probably decline it and kick it again.
So they have to kick it again?
Yeah, because they blow the play dead in high school football when someone goes in the neutral zone.
They changed that rule on a point after.
Yeah, you're really right about that. You're really right. All right. Shalate will hold. And Hines will kick it. And it's right down the middle. Trojans lead 7-6, 4:27 before halftime. We'll be right back. This is St. James football on RBZ.
Great smiles start at Montgomery Dentistry on Woodner Boulevard. Doctors Anderson, Robertson, and Bittner have over 55 years combined dental experience and are proud to be an active part of the St. James community. Montgomery Dentistry accepts most major dental insurance plans, voted best dental practice for 8 years in a row. Ask them about financing options to allow you to get your dental care now and pay later. Located on Woodmer Boulevard. Follow them on Facebook and visit them in montgomerydentistry.com.
A Regions checking account can help you take your next step in life by giving you smarter, more convenient ways to manage your money. Open a Regions checking account today and bank safely and securely in a branch, online, on your phone, or with a phone call. You'll also love conveniences like text alerts, Regions mobile deposit, and our new bill pay system. Ready to move your life forward? To open a Regions checking account today, visit a branch or log on to regions.com/open now. Regions Bank. Message and data fees may apply to mobile services. Mobile deposit subject to fees.
Hines will boot it away for the Trojans. 4:27 to go before halftime. You stay with us, of course. We'll have the Trojan Spotlight, another conversation with a St. James alum. And we'll thank Alyssa Cantrell for taking care of the halftime duties all year. The interviews have been very, very interesting, and we hope you've had the opportunity to listen to those. I'm not sure if they're on the Facebook page or not, but we'll check on that for you. Hines will boot this one away.
Nice.
Over the head of the return man and into the end zone.
Perfect.
That's a weapon for sure. All right, Munford, this will be possession 4, okay?
Yep.
And this is their worst field position. They've started at their 34, their 35, the St. James 40, which ended in an interception, and now at their own 20. It's interesting. St. James is +2 on turnovers here, still in the first half, but they're -5 for the season. Before the Cleburne County game 2 weeks ago, in the first 7 games, St. James had 4 turnovers from the opponent. Running that straight.
Nice.
Off left guard and a little better defense for the Trojans. That's Curry carrying the football. They'll move to the 23 and this pickup of about 3. That wasn't really an option. He's just handing it off to him there. They're blocking all the interior linemen for the Trojans.
Henry Wright on the tackle. And about 3 other guys right behind him.
Wright's having a good night.
He is.
Quarterback's going to fling this one long, and is it knocked away? And it is. Nice play by Darian Williams.
Nice job. Another senior.
Yep. He was what they call in phase.
Yes,
Brad.
he was. Perfect.
Running stride to stride with him, between him and the ball. And that's one of those where quarterback knew where he was going before it was snapped, caught it, 2 steps, throw.
Yep.
And he did look, but only a smidge.
Yeah.
All right, it's 3rd down and 7. See if St. James can get it back. 3:45 to go before halftime. Quarterback Nichols in the shotgun. This smells like a screen pass to me. And there's a little swing and incomplete.
Incomplete.
The Trojans will get the football.
All right.
That was a cousin to a screen.
I'm not quite sure. Was it just a little dump?
That's the play they scored the touchdown on. Just a little dump out in the flat. And their punter doesn't punt it a whole lot further than their place kicker kicked it on that blocked extra point. Offord stands at the 45, and he might be too far back.
Whoa.
He'll come at it and catch it on the run at the 48. Offord makes a man miss. Driving near the 35-yard line, and St. James is going to have great field position here. Offered on a nice punt return of 15 yards.
He was
St.
almost
James,
full speed running
he
when he
was.
caught it.
That was a low line drive kick, and those are the kind you can return. Trojans on the Munford 35. Kicking game, man.
Yeah.
You look at this football team, they're 1-7. Not a very good kicking
Not much
game.
of a kicking game at all, special teams. Make them pay for it.
All right, St. James with the ball. Check the time. 3:22 before halftime. Trying to cash in here. St. James gets the ball to start the second half. Rolling to the right is the quarterback.
Nope, not there.
He's going to throw this one away. And
Good idea.
I hold my breath. Not called intentional grounding.
Yeah, we had somebody right in the area. Zakowski was out there. They've got a hurt player.
Yeah, an injured player for Munford. You know, St. James tried there to throw out of the pocket and to send out wide receivers on both sides, and just unable to protect the quarterback. Tell you what, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll break for 30, and when we come back, it'll be 2nd down for St. James. Trojans lead 7-0. This is St. James football.
Hi, I'm Shelly Nichols. If you see home ownership in your future, the future is now. Helping people get mortgages is what I do at Cross Country Mortgage. I'll help you find the home financing option that's right for you. Go to my website at ccm.com/Shelly Nichols and follow me on social media. Contact me today at Cross Country Mortgage about a home loan. Equal housing opportunity, subject to credit approval, NMLS 430123, company NMLS 3029, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
All right, the injured player from Munford off on his own power, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 for St. James. You said Bullitt County leads Cleveland County 7-0, right?
Yes.
All right, the ball right in the middle of the field. Mason Craig's under center, back to the single wing formation, only one wide receiver now. Inside, and in the open is Zakowski.
Oh, wow.
Touchdown, St. James. That's a 34-yard run by Zakowski, and Trojans lead 13-6.
Sonny, I'm going to be honest with you. I was completely fooled on the
You
play.
didn't see it?
I was watching the outside action and never saw him till he was at the 5-yard line. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. That's the down, Brad.
That is the down.
The closest man to the quarterback. Hand it to him as soon as you get it. Try to get there quickly.
I think 7 or 8 or 9 players of Munford did not know who had the ball.
No, they didn't see it. He was literally past them, I think, before they realized the ball had even been handed off. That extra point is punched through, and Trojans lead 14-6. That's a 35-yard drive in 2 plays, and the Trojans extend their lead. We'll be right back. This is St. James football.
35-yard drive.
This is Judge J.C. Love in the Montgomery County Probate Court, wishing the St. James Trojans football team a winning and successful football season. Go Trojans! And while we're cheering for victory on the field, we're also protecting victories at home. Don't let property title fraud take away what you've worked so hard to build. Sign up today for the Probate Court's REACT program, the Real Estate Activity Alert and Contact Tool. It's free, it's fast, and it helps safeguard your property. Protect your property, protect your future. Learn more at www.reactnow.com. That's www.reactnow.com. Go Trojans.
Discover your stunning new look at Doug's 2 Salon. Find your breathtaking new hairstyle or color with our expert stylists and salon artists, and look absolutely radiant with our extensions, balayage, and keratin treatments. You'll find products from Aveda and Bumble & Bumble. So even when you leave the salon, you keep looking sensational. Call to make your appointment and look and feel amazing today.
Well, that was pretty quick. 2 plays, a grand total of 22 seconds. 34-yard touchdown run by Zakowski. Hines will boot it away for the Trojans. See if he can get this one to the end zone again.
Nice.
Think so.
Uh-oh.
Going to catch it and back into the end zone, but he caught it on the 1. See if the Trojans can – a little running room, but drop him at about the 22. For a second, I thought they had a little more running room than it turned out to be.
Grant Phillips on the tackle.
Starting on their 21. St. James gets the ball to start the second half. So would be good to get a 3 and out here and see if you could get a little more, get another score, even if just a field goal. Be nice for Hines to get him a field goal on senior night. Trojans lead 14-6. They'll run it again off right guard, and the Trojans will hit him. Not much. Is on the bottom.
Zakowski on it.
Zakowski and Stingwinder. Stingwinder lost his helmet.
Oh, boy.
Stingwinder made the stop. Coming off, it would be off for a play. Plugging less than a yard. Second down.
Clock's running. Clock stopped. Now it's running.
There it goes.
Second down and 9. Really not a whole yard, but it's not quite 10. A little more than 9. A little bubble pass. The Trojans defend it pretty well. They'll get the big tight end down, a pickup of about 7 or 8. It's going to be very close. 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, he's a good 6 to 8 inches taller than Grant Phillips.
Yeah, that's Calvin Castleberry, 6'4".
Yeah.
The Trojans call timeout, but it's 3rd and 1. Trying to force.
Well, we have gotten the offense back on track.
Yeah.
Very happy to say.
A little bit better for sure.
We are sitting at about 85, 100 and 113. 114 yards of offense pretty quickly in 2 drives. So
that's right. Well, when you drive 92 yards, that helps.
Big time. So Coach Hammock finding a wrinkle, finding something he likes.
That little quick hitter on the down.
Yep.
And then the first touchdown on a counter sweep kind of action, faked it to the short side of the field and ran to the wide side here.
Okay.
All right, it's 3rd and a yard.
A yard.
See if the Trojans can make a stop here. No safety in the middle of the field. Zakowski missed him.
Oh.
Ran in the gap, and he's kind of slapping himself. Just missed him. And
he had him.
2 years as a starting linebacker, you haven't heard me say that very much.
No.
Yeah. I'm not so sure I've said Zakowski and missed him in the same sentence. First down, Munford, and I think they'll be content to run the clock out.
Yep.
Trojans blitzing, chasing the quarterback out of the pocket, and he throws it away. And St. James will be happy for that, as the Trojans hope to get the ball back. Did you see the blitz out here by Saleta?
Yes.
Clearly, there's something in the scouting report because there was no one covering the receiver that Saleta left and came sprinting on the blitz.
Guess they were pretty confident that he was going to throw to his right.
Ball snapped over the quarterback's head, and he'll fall on it way back at the 22, and now they want a timeout.
Is that the second or third time that's happened?
Yeah, second time I think for sure. Yeah. We know a little something about snapping problems from 2 years ago watching Alabama play football. Where you're like, come on.
Don't get me started. Low snap, low snap, low snap.
Yeah.
Guess what the first thing your quarterback has to do on a low snap? Go down and get the ball.
Turn his eyes off of the receivers and the big guys running at it.
Yeah. Never a good idea.
That ball went way back inside the 20 at the 19. The first down marker is at the 44. So that's going to be 3rd and 25.
Well, they're gonna. I'll be shocked if they're not going to try to throw it. They could run a draw.
Let's see the time. Why don't I tell that? 1:24 to go. I almost run it and make St. James use their timeout, which would be the 3rd. But yeah, I think I do that. I run the football probably. I don't risk. I've turned it over twice already. I don't risk an interception here. St. James does not have a big play offense, so. If you're watching on Facebook and have noticed that Munford wearing the safety helmets, running it straight off guard, hit in the hole by Zakowski. Bam!
And he dropped the ball, but the play was already whistled dead.
St. James calls timeout, 1:18 to go before halftime, and St. James will get the ball, and we'll see if a wing T offense can run a 2-minute drill, which are contradictory concepts in football.
So he is going to be punting from the 20 and take it back 10 yards, 12 yards.
Should be 15, but he was standing only at about 12. Yeah. I'm not so sure if I've got a punt block, because here's the truth, a 15-yard penalty doesn't get them any closer.
I would go all-out punt block.
Because it's 4th and 25. If I have a punt block in, and I think they must, because the special teams coordinator walked all the way out to the hash mark talking to one of the St. James guys.
You got to get one more over on him. Somebody get over on that guy.
Saleta's going to get out there. They've got 2 gunners on the same side of the field. In St. James.
Now flag. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. What? Delay of game? What I don't
Can't
understand.
be delay of game.
Should be no flag.
They're going to pick it up.
I was going to say.
They'll pick it up.
None of that happened.
Okay. Munford will punt the line of scrimmage, the 20, and to answer your question, the punter's standing at the 10.
Yep.
literally only 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Let's go see it. Go.
They're after him. He got it away, but it
man.
is straight up. Offered at the 45. Offered at the 30. Offered
go out of
touch
bounds.
inside.
Keep going.
Offered to the 28. What a great punt return.
Nice. 10.
That's an 18-yarder. That's the second nice punt return by Alford, and the Trojans in business.
Yeah, he's got 33 yards in punt returns on the 2.
All right, let's check
what is
the
going
clock.
on now?
I don't see a flag.
Did he step out early? I don't think he stepped out.
There's a flag on the play.
There is a flag.
Personal foul against St. James. Well,
good Lord.
Personal foul against St. James.
Well, that's 35-40 sideline interference. That's 50 yards in penalties.
It was on the sideline?
Yep. Must have been a player who was out there too close. But now the ball's at the 44 instead of the 28.
Well, Coach Goodson is talking to Yancey. I don't know what happened.
St. James with only 10 guys on the field.
All right.
Luke Catchings hurries out there for the Trojans. All right, here we go. See if St. James can give Craig time to throw. 1:04 to play before halftime. Craig looking, plenty of time, rolling right and throws it away, and that's going to be intentional grounding, I think. Nope.
Outside the tackle, number 6 and number 12 were sort of close.
Number 6 and number 12 were closer
close.
Reed Ingram, Sweet Creek Farms down 231 than they were from the quarterback. But we'll take it. 2nd and 10. Trojans trying to take advantage of a short punt and a good stand by the defense. Rolling right is Craig. Looking. There's a flag down. Not sure what that's going to be, but probably holding.
They're going to call it on Max Ward.
I think so, because Max is very unhappy.
Now, what is wrong with the defensive lineman? He's doubled over.
Yeah. I could guess.
They get tangled up.
I think they must have.
Get a low blow.
That's how he's acting. Okay, 51 seconds. It's going to be 2nd down, and I'm not so sure right here. I don't just run the football and let's go to the locker room.
Yep.
You get the ball to start the second half. Just lost your poise right here. There's no question about that. St. James back in the wing tee, and I think they're going to run the football here. Craig hands it off on a little inside counter, and Zukowski carries it near the 50. I don't think Munford's going to call timeout either. It's 3rd down, and you don't actually have to snap it again.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I would either.
Just walk to the locker room, boys.
Trojans lead 14-6.
More good, more bad that can happen instead of good.
Yeah, what Coach Bryant used to say, if you pass the football, 2 things can happen. 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Trojans will snap it. Ford Bass with a little running room. Ford Bass breaks a tackle. Bass has got a 1st down, but that's all, and the clock will expire. The end of the half, Trojans lead 14-6 at halftime. Officials talk it over, and let's see if they're going to let St. James run another play. I don't think so.
Well,
everybody's still out there on the field. There's a flag.
Another flag.
If it's on the defense, the half cannot end on a defensive foul.
Nope.
And I've already written on my spotting chart that the half's over, my drive chart. St. James will have a play. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
Against Munford, and I think the Trojans can try a field goal here.
Let's kick a field goal.
The ball's at the 18. That's going to just be a 35-yard. Just a 35-yard field goal. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on, Dylan.
35-yard field goal attempt.
Dylan Hines will attempt a field goal 35 yards.
Right in the center of the field. Salado will hold it. Snap's good. The hold's good. The kick's high enough.
Missed it.
And it is good.
Oh, got it.
Trojans lead 17-6.
My apologies. My eyeballs did not do me right then.
That's a 35-yard Hines field goal on the last play of the half, and
Nice.
Trojans extend their lead. Recapping for you quickly, on their second possession, Munford drove 66 yards in 9 plays. The touchdown coming on a pass from the quarterback Nichols to the running back Curry, just a little swing pass, and St. James really got stretched out there and couldn't get to the sidelines, and Curry scored. The Trojans blocked the extra point. 3:28 to go in the first quarter. St. James led 6-0. The Trojans would take advantage of an interception inside the St. James 10 as Munford was threatening, and then drove 92 yards in 10 plays. The touchdown, a 39-yard run by Yancey, his very first St. James rushing touchdown. A 7-minute St. James drive, but Yancey scores on senior night. The extra point gave St. James a 7-6 lead on the next possession after a short Munford punt. A 35-yard touchdown run by Zakowski gave St. James a 13-6 lead. The extra point made it 14-6 with 3 minutes to go before halftime. St. James got the ball back after a stop and using all 3 of their timeouts, but 2 15-yard penalties against St. James put the Trojans in a spot where they tried to run the clock out, but a nice run by Ford Bass took the ball down near the 25-yard line, and then a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Munford gave the St. James Trojans an untimed down, and Dylan Hines kicked a 35-yard field goal, and the Trojans lead 17-6 here on senior night. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, Alyssa Cantrell will have the Trojan Spotlight for you. You stay with us. We'll be right back. This is St. James Football on WRBZ.
I'm Cliff Meidel, 2-time Olympic athlete in the sport of sprint kayaking. In 1986, my life changed forever when I struck 3 buried high-voltage cables while working on an excavation site. 30,000 volts of electricity blew through my body. I'm lucky to be alive and able to walk again. Accidents like mine can be avoided with a simple call to 811.
Accidents can happen to anyone. Know what's below. Always call 811 before digging. Brought to you by Alabama 811.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Derek Cunningham of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We're a proud supporter of St. James football. Being a member of this community and knowing that these students are part of our community, we at the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office would like to let you know that we support you this football season and we're here for you this football season.
If joint pain or athletic injury has you out of a game, call the Houston Clinic team at 334-245-6605. Doctors Lee Murphy and Derek Wessner are seasoned healthcare providers working to provide high-quality sports medicine care to the athletes of the River region. Dr. Murphy is an orthopedic surgeon. His clinical focus is on shoulder, elbow, and knee disorders. Dr. Wessner is a veteran and primary care sports medicine physician specializing in the primary care treatment of all musculoskeletal conditions. Visit Doctors Murphy and Wessner at Houston Clinic on Taylor Road in Montgomery.
Go, go, go. That's life. And at CB&S Bank, we help you keep up. We're redesigning financial freedom with the most sophisticated digital products. Check balances, pay bills, transfer funds, manage your card, and even deposit checks from wherever you are. Make purchases using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile device with Mobile Wallet in participating stores and restaurants. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
Good evening and welcome to this week's Trojan Spotlight. I am thrilled to have with us St. James alum Madeline Murray. Hey Madeline, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Madeline is an alum, and we'll get to the details around that in a minute, but she also works on staff at St. James, and we're going to talk about that too. So happy to have you here. Let's start with the most easy, simple question possible. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2019.
Okay. And what were some of the things you were involved in at St. James?
I was really drawn to the arts. So I did theater. Most of the time I was in the crew because I couldn't work up the courage to audition for a show.
And here
then
you
in my
are.
senior year, I finally got it together. And so I was in Little Women my senior year. And then I did choir, even though I can't sing. And I did the majority of high school. I was in the band. I was on the color guard.
Okay, good. What did you do after you graduated from St. James?
After I graduated, I went to Faulkner University, where I was also on the color guard for 3.5 years. And then I taught for a brief time. I taught color guard at Wetumpka High School. And then in 2022, I came back to St. James.
Okay. And at Wonderworks, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. How do you feel St. James prepared you for life after high school?
So many ways. I feel like with everything that they offer for extracurriculars and clubs and all of that, it really helped because I struggled to stay on a schedule. It helped me work on time management because, you know, for bands, we would have practice until 6 o'clock at night. And then I would go home and I would eat dinner and then I would study and do homework until it was time to go to sleep. And then my senior year, we did a simulation project where it was kind of like the game Sims we all played when we were younger. And we had to get a job. Like we had a little person and we had to get a job and, you know, budget out our money and make sure we had food and enough money to pay rent. So it was kind of like a little glimpse into adult life.
Okay. That's awesome. We're trying something new in a few weeks. We're having Regions Bank is coming in and they're going to do a similar exercise with our 8th graders as part of Career Week, but also with our 11th and 12th graders. Everybody will be assigned a persona and then they will have to figure out how to budget within that persona. So some will be married with kids, some will be single, some will be married without kids, and they'll have like a salary and rent and they have to figure out how to make it work. And we're really excited about that.
I think that'll be really beneficial.
Yes,
I might need to come and play.
You and me both, sister. You have been full-time on the staff since last year. You are a pre-K aide. Tell me a little bit about your role and why you wanted to come back to work at St. James.
I loved my time at St. James. And when I came back, I started at Wonderworks. And so I kind of got my foot in the door and I fell in love with it instantly. I loved I call them my babies. I loved all my Wonderworks babies. And I loved the people that I work with, most of whom I'm still really good friends with. And then the opportunity arose for me to be a pre-K assistant. And I was like, okay. So I started in K2. I was the second year, I think, of the K2 program, the second half of the year. And it was so much, which you wouldn't think that changing diapers and all of that all day long would be fun, but it's fun when you love the people you work with.
Right.
And then this last 2 summers ago, they offered me the K3 position to move up. And I was like, okay, well then I get to stay with my babies. So I moved on up and I love K3 even more because there's no diapers involved.
Yes, that is a nice win. Well, and as for everybody who is watching, they can see in the background, this is the life of a pre-K aide, and she's in her pre-K office, which is always full of color and fun and things.
Always.
Okay, you mentioned color guard both at St. James and at Faulkner. You actually, we actually brought color guard back this year. And you've been a key part of that. Talk a little bit about why that was important to you and just your experience bringing color guard back for St. James.
So when I was at St. James, those were some of my favorite memories because we not only performed at football games, but we traveled all over the place competing in competitions. And it was just such an awesome experience. And those are some of my favorite memories, not only because of the people I was with, but because of what I was getting to do. Right. I love to perform. And so my junior year was actually the last year that we had a color guard at St. James. Okay. And so when Mr. Martin was talking to me and he was like, I really want to bring the color guard back. And I said, sign me up. Nothing would make me happier. And, I wasn't sure if any of this age that we have now is going to have any idea what color guard is. So, we put flyers up everywhere, and we had a clinic, and there were like 17 people showed up.
Oh, wow.
And I was blown away. And so we kind of started working on it, and I kind of started teaching them some stuff. And then we only ended up having 8 girls that like committed and like absolutely wanted to do it. And it's been difficult because they're learning.
Yes.
But it's been so much fun. And I feel like I'm getting to relive the glory days, and I get to pretend like I'm still in high school sometimes. It is so much fun, and I'm so happy that I'm a part of it.
Yeah, there's been a few days I've walked out in the quad and somebody's gone running and gotten their flag and they're out there practicing like during, snack or break or whatever. And I've been like, you know what, that's awesome, because that's a sign of a kid that's committed and loves what they're doing.
Yes.
So good job to you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And they look great. Y'all had a band competition, and did y'all get a score on color guard?
Yes. So we had a contest a couple of weeks ago at the end of September at Marbury High School, and they actually got all ones, which for people that don't speak marching band is superior. That's like the highest ranking.
That's awesome. Well, good job. Kudos to
Thank you. I'm very proud.
You should be. Okay, as you know, because you're on the faculty and staff, we talk a lot about our core values: character, commitment, courage, and community. How do you see these lived out every day as both an alum and part of the faculty and staff?
Though, I mean, they are drilled into you from the second you walk onto campus. And I think that makes it makes it a place that everybody wants to be, because, I loved it so much when I was in high school that I came back and it feels like no time has passed, because the way that I came to St. James was kind of unusual, because I came like there were like maybe 5 or 6 weeks left in the school year at the end of 8th grade. So it was super weird. And I was already nervous because it was a new school and new people that I didn't know. And it was weird because I was coming from being in public school my whole life. And so private school just seemed kind of daunting, and I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. The second that I stepped foot on St. James's campus, I was welcomed with open arms, and, everybody wanted to know how they could help me. And I think by lunchtime, my very first day, I had like 12 new best friends. Yeah. I mean, it was one of the best memories, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. I think that commitment, the way that there are tons of alumni that still work here. And, they loved it so much that they decided to come back. And I think, once a Trojan, always a Trojan.
Yes, that's right.
And I feel like it's important I feel like children learn best when they feel safe and loved and like they're part of something. And I feel like they have done a really great job of making St. James feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love anytime I happen to be down by the preschool playground, when it doesn't matter if it's 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, or 4-year-olds that are out. And if high schoolers walk by, the high schoolers stop.
They have to go give high fives.
They engage with them. They get to know them. It's so sweet. And I just love seeing all the little ones up on the fence, and they want to say hi.
And it's the highlight of their day, because they will be talking about it for the rest of the day.
Well, and I think that's amazing. You don't get that really with many other schools in town, where everybody's together on one campus, and you get to build that relationship from the get-go with everybody gets to feel part of something a lot bigger than just their grade that they're in. Yeah. Okay, last question. If you could tell prospective families one reason why they should choose St. James, what would you tell them?
As cheesy as it sounds, a lot of people tell you that Disney World is the happiest place on earth. But for me, St. James is the happiest place on earth. And I hope to one day send my babies here, because I love it so much.
That's awesome. You know what? You're 100% right. It is. I moved here when my oldest was 2.5 months old, and I didn't really find my place in Montgomery until we started here. He started in K3, And it was like instantaneously, I had this whole new family away from home. And I always tell people that like St. James became my family. It became my home away from home. And both my kids, one's a freshman now and one's an 8th grader, they've grown up here. And I can't imagine anything else, any better environment, more nurturing or anything than what they have been able to experience.
Yes, it's the best.
Yeah, it is.
Not
Well,
only as a student, but as a faculty and staff member.
Yeah,
it's the best.
It is. It is 100%. Well, I appreciate you joining us, and
thank you for having me.
We're ending the year on a really strong note, and I'm really glad that you got to talk about Color Guard, and they really are doing a fabulous job. I've enjoyed watching them perform. So keep it up, and thanks for doing that. And we appreciate you, and we'll kick it back to Sunny and crew. Go Trojans!
Go Trojans!
From all the employees at Adams Drugs, we want to say thank you to those who already trust us with your health care and prescription needs. If you are looking for a pharmacy, we would like to invite you to visit our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find a location nearest to you. We have 12 locations in the River region with services such as wellness screenings, blood pressure checks, and compounding, just to name a few. Please come in and experience the Adams Drugs difference. We look forward to serving you and your family.
All aboard for Healthy Smiles. At Dentistry for Children, they love to make kids smile. Dr. Schreiber and Dr. Thomas specialize in pediatric dentistry, treating infants, children, and patients with special needs. You can trust Dentistry for Children to provide the highest quality care for children of all ages. Beautiful smiles begin at Dentistry for Children. Call today to make your appointment with their professional caring staff. Dentistry for Children in Montgomery and Wetumpka, proudly making kids smile for over 40 years.
Nothing gets your attention like the pain you get when it hurts to walk. When you have that pain, reach out to Southern Specialty Physicians. Dr. Brian Sellers is a board-certified vascular surgeon with over 15 years of experience. And Dr. Brandon McCullum is an experienced podiatrist. Southern Specialty Physicians are working to keep Alabama walking. Located across from the AUM Water Tower on Sydney Curve and online at ssp.care. When you speak with patients at Just for Grins Orthodontics, you hear things like, "The staff is great. My daughter's teeth look perfect. I've been using them for over 2 years, and my service has been nothing short of amazing." Or, "My teeth have always made me a little self-conscious. Just for Grins fixed that, and not only do my teeth look great, they make me feel great." If you or your family need braces or Invisalign in a lively environment using the latest technologies with over 3 decades of experience, let's make the smile of your dreams a reality. Visit justforgrinsortho.com.
Back here at Carlisle Field, the St. James Marching Band is performing here at halftime, and Trojans lead 17-6 on senior night on the strength of 2 rushing touchdowns and a Dylan Hines field goal on the last play of the first half. Things didn't get started exactly as Coach Larry Ware would have drawn them up in the first quarter. The Trojans held Munford and then went 3 and out on their first possession, and Munford drove 66 yards, helped by 25 yards in penalties, including one on a 3rd down that would have forced Munford to either go for it on 3rd and 7 or 8 or try a long field goal, and kept the drive going. And St. James trailed 6-0 when the first quarter ended and had gone 3 and out on both possessions in the first quarter. And from that point on, Brad, I don't know what happened, but St. James found a way to run the football and scored 2 rushing touchdowns. So let's take a look at the statistics.
Yeah, so literally 95% of the offense is rushing tonight in the first half. Andrew Yancey, 3 carries, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. He's your leader so far tonight. Miles Zakowski, 7 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Grant Phillips, 4 carries, 28 yards. Let's see here. Ford Bass, 2 carries for 8. Mason Craig, 1 carry for 3. So 19 rushes, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns. On the passing, Mason Craig just 1 for 4 for 12 yards, connecting with Andrew Yancey for a 12-yard pickup in the second quarter. Total offense so far tonight, 23 plays, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. Your leading tackler, Grant Phillips, 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. Miles Zakowski, 5 tackles, and Andrew Shalata with an interception on the goal line. So great job by the defense. Dylan Hines gets you 5 points so far tonight, 2-point after attempts, and a 35-yard field goal literally to end the half, the last play of the game.
Well, the last play of the half.
Last play of the half, thank you.
I said something in the pregame, Brad. I said, if you played football in high school, you remember the last game you played. And I said, I remember the last game. I know who we played. I know what the score was. And I know late in the fourth quarter when the coach put 4 or 5 of us defensive guys in and let us play offense. I didn't get to carry the ball, but I did get to play. Did get to play offense a couple of plays. But I said, I don't remember the next to last game. So you're always going to remember the last game when you're a senior.
Remember the last game.
And for these guys warming up down to our left here as we get ready for the second half, they've got 24 more minutes of high school football to play.
And that is a weird feeling. Because my last football game ended in a loss in the playoffs against Dothan, and remembering back, and I'm trying to remember who the receiver was that went on to play at Florida State that lit us up in the second half to end our career in high school football. It's going to come to me in a second, but anyway, he just made everything miserable in the second half when they figured out they could just throw the ball up and he could run underneath it.
Well, these guys, it's kind of like the best. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah.
This senior class, they were ninth graders. Which means in 2022, when St. James won its only state championship so far, these guys were on the sidelines.
They were freshmen.
They were freshmen. They were dressed out. Don't remember if anybody played. It would have been Dawson Knowles. Don't remember if he got to play in that championship game or not. But the next year, in 2023, when they made it to the semifinals and really should have won, that might be the most heartbreaking game I can remember in St. James since I've been around. These guys were sophomores, and several of them played important roles on that team. Last year, they were runners-up in the region. So, this season's been a disappointment for them, but these guys have been the part of some of the best of times in St. James football.
Yeah, and trying to get through this year, with a limited roster, but still some great memories for these seniors here at St. James. The championship, going down to Mobile Christian and just barely losing to go back to the state championship, which I think we've talked about that we feel like St. James would have won again.
We would have won probably because Mobile Christian ran Madison Academy out of the stadium. I don't remember the score, but it was not close, over at halftime, honestly. And truthfully, that St. James team was not as good as Mobile Christian, but outmaneuvered them in the second half. If you remember, they kept the ball away from Mobile Christian running the football.
Yes.
KJ Jackson, I remember saying at halftime, if St. James is going to win this game, KJ Jackson will have to put this team on his back, and he did.
He did. Incredible. I'm trying to remember that last couple of plays of the game.
Well, he missed the kid who was the kicker, who also played wide receiver, war number 3. You mentioned him before the game when we were looking at kicking. Jake Huff.
Yes.
Missed Jake Huff on a little curl right at the goal line on second down. St. James had the ball on about the 12, something like that. Pressured out of the pocket and ran for a yard or 2 on first down. Missed Jake Huff on second. Chased out of the pocket and threw it away on third, and then on fourth down, missed Mason Craig was the intended receiver on the fourth down pass. That was incomplete. Well, we've just about spent all the time we can reminiscing, and so it's about time for high school football. St. James will get the football to start the second half. So the Trojans will be trying to do the old Bill Belichick 2-for-1, scoring at the end of the first half and then getting the ball to start the second half.
That middle quarter is important.
That middle quarter, we talked about that before. And St. James, let's see. St. James scored 10 points in the last 6 minutes of the second quarter. And we'll see what they do in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. That's what we call the middle six. There'll be a test on this. Pay attention. All right, we're about ready to go here in Munford, and they'll try an onside kick, and the Trojans are not fooled at all.
At all.
That one's recovered by 8th grader Connor Adams.
Nice.
Wow. Connor Adams making the recovery, and I suspect we're going to get to see a bunch of that young man at 6 feet 180 in the 8th grade.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, Trojans start here, leading 17-6 and the ball on their own 46-yard line. It is the last night of the season. You might as well use all your plays. Don't leave anything in the playbook. And Munford tried the onside kick here.
Uh-oh.
Not much. Grant Phillips back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll hand it off to Phillips. He is taken down in the backfield.
Once again, Trojans did not block that play very well. Phillips and the player from Munford had a little conversation, and now there's a flag across the way.
Are they Mason Craig? What are they saying?
I'm not sure. Now, Phillips and a defender were having a conversation, but this flag is
gonna be on
way across the way from where that discussion was going on. But it must be against Grant because he did that hold your hands out, turn your head sideways, and go, me?
What did I do?
Yeah, we'll see. But they continue to talk about it, reminding me of the Southeastern Conference officials.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I was listening to Feinbaum on the way here, and he was talking about the officials. And we continue a business meeting. We're getting started here. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against St. James. Okay, let's see. In the first half, I can't tell you about all the penalties because one sheet of my drive chart blew out of here during halftime.
Well,
but St. James had 3 penalties, 25 yards of penalties in the first touchdown drive for Munford, and then a personal foul and a holding penalty on the drive that led to the field goal.
Yep.
This 15-yard penalty takes the football all the way back to the 31. Wow. Been a bit of a messy game as far as penalties are concerned for the Trojans.
We got 11 men out there. Grant looks confused. Play clock has not started.
Phillips came off the field. I hope they didn't. We'll see. All right, the play clock down to 20.
Slater coming off, or is he okay?
No, Slater's the one with the wide receiver. Okay, it's second down and a country mile. 26-27, something like that. The ball, the Trojan 31. They just run the down, and Zakowski is spun around and does not get back to the line of scrimmage. You know, St. James didn't really take advantage of a fumble recovery in the first half, and now trying to take advantage of recovering an onside kickoff. But it literally will take a 27, 28-yard gain to avoid squandering this opportunity. My guess is this is run the football, punted away. Just joining us, Trojans lead 14-6, and we're just getting started in the second half on senior night here at Carlisle Field. Craig rolling left, chased, and throws this baby away, and that'll stop the clock. That's the third 3 and out on the night for St. James. Well, it was first down at your own 47, and you punt it from your own 30.
Yeah, that was a bizarre series.
Not the best way to start.
No.
Hines has booted the ball very well this season, though. Let's see what he can do. Snaps a little high, but he brings it down, and that's a boomer. Going to be taken at the 20. Tackles missed by the Trojans, but they'll get him down near the 40.
Yep.
I said at the 20. That was wrong. He took it at the 30. He'll be tackled at the 41. Miles Zakowski on the tackle, along with some help. All right, let's see if St. James can make a defensive stand here, get the ball back with this 11-point lead. Munford scored first, but the Trojans blocked the extra point. In fact, that's 2 straight extra point blocks because they blocked the extra point on the second touchdown last week against Tallahassee.
Yep.
Munford with 3 wide receivers, 2 across the way to the wide side of the field. The ball here near the press box. Running off right guard. Ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground.
Got
The
it.
Trojans scoop it up.
Grant Phillips got it. And the seat.
Williams recovered. No, Grant Phillips.
Yep.
Phillips on the recovery.
That's his second fumble recovery of the night.
That's 3 turnovers by Munford. That's, this is a St. James broadcast, and St. James is 2-7. So what I'm about to say, but that's why you're 1-7.
Yeah.
I mean, you just dropped that football. I mean, he got hit, but he dropped the football.
Yeah, and 77, who tackled Grant Phillips, had some words with Grant coming off the field.
All right, the ball at the Munford 49. Let's see if the Trojans can take advantage of another good field position opportunity. Phillips is going to throw a pass, and it's straight to the Munford defender. A tackle out here nicely by offensive lineman Jake Green, but the Trojans give it right back.
Yeah. Didn't want to see that.
No.
He really should not have thrown it. He was
being harassed and just tossed it into the middle of the field.
Thinking maybe something good will happen.
We discussed that right before halftime. What did Coach Bryant say?
Yeah, there's 3 things that can happen on a pass play, and 2 of them are bad.
2 of them are bad. Yeah. Well, and that right there, I mean, this, again, that's one of the reasons why you're 2-7. You just, smart football. See if the St. James defense here right in front of us can make a stop. 9:32 to go in the third. Trojans lead by 11. A little bubble screen out there. Mason Craig's going to get out there, but late. They miss a tackle to the Trojans.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, there's holding.
There's two flags.
They pull Saleta down out in the open.
Yeah.
And the coach is unhappy about it, but he might be unhappy at his player, but he can't be unhappy about the call.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a ton of flags for the rest of the game. It's the last game of the season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
I have a prediction. Right now we have 11 penalties. By the time we finish, it'll be total penalties over 20. I bet.
There's 11 total penalties?
11 total so
All right,
far.
I'll take that wager. I'll say less than 20.
Less than 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's 9 more penalties.
9 more penalties.
Yeah, to get to 20. All right.
I think it's going to get
After
sloppy.
the wagering, Munford has the ball at the Trojan 43. Took a minute. He's straight back to pass, and that one is caught.
Strip him.
He'll be wrestled down by Catchings. Castleberry at 6'3", and Catchings at 5'7".
Yeah.
And it's second down. That pass gets back the penalty yardage plus some. So the ball at the Trojan 31, it's 2nd and 5. This is starting just like the first half did.
Mm-hmm.
Munford in an unbalanced line to the wide side of the field now. The tight end, you see the tight end's lined up where the tackle would be here on the short side.
Yep.
This is one of those where you wonder if they'll throw it to him, hoping the Trojans don't count and know that he's got to be covered. Quarterback will keep it on a little counter. St. James lost containment out there inside the 20 down to about the 18. Can't turn your back on the play.
No.
And the edge setter out there for the Trojans, instead of keeping his inside shoulder on the outside shoulder of his blocker, turned his back and tried to spin move around him. And by the time he did that, the quarterback was past him. They'll mark it at the 17. First down of the second half by Munford. All right, quarterback's in the shotgun. St. James squared up, playing normal defense, no blitz, missed a tackle out there. Quarterback just sprinting to the outside, picked up about 4. Be second down. That's just the old play from middle school football. You snap it to the quarterback, and he tries to outrun the defense to the edge. They had a trips formation that way, so we had blockers. Ball's at the 13 of the Trojans after a St. James turnover. 8 minutes to go before 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. They'll throw the bubble screen. Trojans with nobody to make a tackle out there, and there's another first down. Actually, no, he might have stepped out of bounds. A little short. It's going to be third down. We certainly know you're going for it here if you don't make it on third down.
Got to get something good right here.
They've got an offensive lineman in the backfield, and that running back Curry, he's got it. First down, broke a tackle, broke another one, going to be dropped by Phillips inside the 1.
Curry takes the ball and is wrestled down just short of the goal line.
At halftime, I started thinking, Sonny, it's not going to be easy. I don't know why you thought it was.
We just got to get back in rhythm. That first offensive series was awful. Got to get a stop here.
All right, the ball at the 1 yard line. Quarterback's going to fake the handoff and sprint into the end zone, I think. Yes. That's a 1 yard run by Nichols. And it's 17-12 with 7:07 to go. See if Munford will go for 2 here. Not really necessary to chase points here because I don't think they have a very good field goal kicker. But a 2-point conversion would get the Lions within 3. All right, the quarterback Nichols is in the shotgun. Behind him is the running back Curry. Over the middle, and 2-point conversion is good, I think.
No, he dropped it.
No, knocked loose and incomplete.
He dropped it.
7 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. St. James leads 17-12. We'll be right back on. This is St. James football on WRBZ.
A fire can spread through your home or business in less than 2 minutes. That's why it's important to think ahead and have the proper fire protection installed before it's needed. Brendel Sprinkler Company can inspect your current system and help make sure that you have the proper equipment when it's needed. Brendel works in new construction, existing homes, and renovations. They not only want to help extinguish fires, they want to save lives. Since 1960, with over 5,000 successful installations. Find them online at brendelsprinkler.com.
Confidence, experience, credibility. When your family is at stake, you need an attorney who's built a reputation on these 3 words. Katie Steenwinder. Whether it's divorce, custody, adoptions, or child support, Katie Steenwinder. Serving clients from Prattville and Wetumpka to Montgomery and Elba, Katie Steenwinder has developed her reputation with credibility, experience, and confidence. Call the law office of Katie Steenwinder in Montgomery, 262-2844. When your family is at stake, Katie Steenwinder. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Mikael Delbridge returns the kickoff to the Trojan 40, and so St. James set up with good field position.
Delbridge just a sophomore.
You know, Brian, not the best start I've ever seen of the second half.
No.
Had the ball twice, 3 and out, and then threw an interception on first down. All right, the Trojans with the ball on the 41, leading by 5. Craig. Handing it off to
Yes.
Yancey near the 47, maybe the 48. It's going to be second down and 2.
7-yard gain. His first carry of the second half.
Ball in that very near that Trojan logo, midfield. I'd like to see the letters about twice that size if you can get that handled by next year, Brad.
Okay. I'll talk to Scott.
Second and 2. Quarterback sneak. Got it for the Trojans. It's Mason Craig. The ball at the 48. I remember our friend Rich, who used to say they've crossed the 50, they're into enemy territory.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
The last quarterback sneak was the exact same spot from the 48 to the 49 yard line.
Right there in the middle of the field.
3-yard gain.
That one was in the first half. You don't think this is a community? The little ball boy just came over the sidelines, and Zakowski put his arm around it, standing over here on the sidelines. It's tossed out there to Yancey with running room. Some more. He cuts back in near the 42.
Yeah.
A pickup of about 6, maybe even 7.
43, 5-yard, 6-yard pickup. Make it 7.
5:20 to go in the third quarter.
Yancey running the ball well tonight.
He is.
He's got 5 carries for 60 yards.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown.
The first of his Trojan career.
I think he wants another.
All right, the ball at the 43. Shifting that wing back from right to left. And they'll run that way. Behind him, Zakowski, first down.
Yes.
Nice block out there by Dawson Knowles. Grant Phillips in, Dylan Hines in, Alford, and Jordan Williams out, along with Ford Bass. Isaac Caputo in as well. Trojans making some substitutes out there. The ball on the 43, first down St. James. This will be play 6. The first 5 of them were runs. Here comes a blitz from Munford on the outside, but the Trojans run right where the linebacker came.
That was awesome.
And a nice pickup by Zakowski.
With the stop, 4-yard gain, second down.
Cameron Hartley, an 8th grader's come in the running back position, and Dale Bridge, who's a sophomore.
Was that Zakowski?
That was Zakowski.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's his 10th carry on the night.
Zakowski in there at the running back still, but to his left is Hartley. Let's see if they'll let the 8th grader get a chance to carry the ball. Nope. The old man of the woods, Zakowski, spins loose and dives inside the 25. First down again for the Trojans. This drive started at the St. James 40 after a nice kickoff return by Delbridge.
They're going to give him the first.
Yeah, first down.
Oh, they marked him short. Oh, okay. No, we had one judge down here marking him on the 24, and they end up putting it on the 27.
Yeah. Yeah, one had it, I think, marked on the 29, and they gave it on the 27. First down, Trojans. Play 8. The first 7 have been runs. Going toward the south end zone. The clock down to 2:50 to go in the quarter. Hartley with it. Not much running room out there. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Cameron
It'll be second down and 10.
Is he an 8th grader?
8th grader.
Nice job.
My friend Frank Woodson's listening. I'll say it. He's an 8th grader, baby. When our girls were cheerleading, we went down to play Bullitt County, and the guy's announcing the starters, and he gets to the guard, and it says his name and his number, and he looks over there at us and goes, he's an 8th grader, baby. Toss it out here to Yancey. Yancey breaks a tackle. Got the first down.
There we go.
5 first downs on 9 rushes.
Nice.
This is whoever invented the wing tee. This is the kind of drive that he was hoping for.
That's right. Yancey now up to 72 yards. He's finding a crease and taking advantage of it.
Mason Craig watching the play clock, hands under center. He'll toss it out here to Yancey with running room. Yancey near the 7.
He is running hard.
Going to be short of a first down, but close. Maybe at the 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Another 8-yard pickup.
He'll get a little breather.
How many plays in the drive?
This will be 11.
Wow.
Munford's going to call timeout. 47 seconds before the end of the third quarter. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back. Trojans lead 17-12.
If you're looking for commercial real estate, Moore Company Realty is your go-to choice. The experienced team has a deep understanding of local markets and can help you find the perfect commercial property for sale or lease. They also offer comprehensive commercial property management services to ensure your investment is well taken care of. Their expertise and dedication to client satisfaction has allowed them to thrive for over 130 years. Find out more at moorecompanyrealty.com.
Back here at Carlisle Field, Trojans lead 17-12. Brad, got anything new in the rest of high school football?
Yeah, let me get back over here to the main. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Jackson 49, Satsuma 7, Montgomery Catholic 17, Andalusia 10, Trinity 7, Trinity 17, Houston Academy 7, Montgomery Academy 29, Alabama Christian 14, Handley 35, Booker T. Washington 12.
2nd down and 2 for the Trojans, going toward the south end zone. Craig on a little reverse forward pass. They fooled them.
Whoa.
And that's another senior with a touchdown rushing.
That was a mind blower. I wish everybody could have seen that. Oh, my goodness.
Bass on an 8-yard run, and on senior night.
I bet his mama is going berserk.
That's Bass, Yancey, and Zakowski with running touchdowns. And the Trojans lead 23-12 with 39 seconds before we play basket case.
Yes.
Dylan Hines will attempt the extra point. That's a 60-yard drive in 11 plays.
Nice.
All of them on the ground. Hines' kick is high and long and is good. We'll keep it right here. It's 24-12 St. James on senior night. You know, I didn't say anything at breakfast this morning, Brad. What I was going to say was the last time St. James did not make the playoffs, way back in 2013.
Yes.
Something real special happened on the last game. It was at home. It was senior night. And Frank Moody ran for 396 yards in one game, a record that will never be broken here at St. James. I said something special. 396 yards on 39 carries. St. James won 48-10. I thought but didn't say maybe something special will happen tonight. 3 seniors have gotten rushing touchdowns.
That is awesome. Zakowski, Bass, and Yancey scoring rushing touchdowns tonight. And Dylan Hines kicking a field goal.
That's right.
All seniors.
All right. 39 seconds to go before halftime. What a wing tee drive that was. Hines will boot this one away. Trojans he hits a little pooch kick, and the return man is dropped at the 28.
Nice.
29-yard line. Just a short return.
All right, this is possession 3, I think, for Munford. That's right. They fumbled on their first possession on the first play and then scored in 4 plays. They've only run 5 plays here in the third quarter, and they'll start on their own 28. Play clock already down to 13, and Munford's just now sprinting from the sidelines. Quarterback Nichols has played a pretty good game. Rolling to his left.
Yes.
That one's incomplete.
Man, that was fantastic. Dylan Hines, all 6'2" of Dylan Hines, completely comes off the ground with both arms stretched up, forcing the quarterback to throw it high.
And then over the head of the receiver.
Then, straight over the head of the receiver.
St. James Band having a good time down there to our left. All right, second down and 10 for Munford.
Flag. I think we jumped in
St.
the neutral
James
zone.
stepped in the neutral zone.
Come on, boys.
Okay, is that 12?
That is that is 7 and 5. That is 12. And we're not in the fourth quarter.
We're not in the fourth quarter, but they're going to have to get busy.
Okay.
All right, it's now 2nd and 5. Quarterback tried to draw St. James off again, but nothing doing that time. Luke Ketching's out here, standing flat-footed. He's blitzing, I think. Run inside.
There we go.
Pick up of 2 or 3. That's Curry, and that might be, it is the last play of the third quarter. Enjoy Basket Case. We'll be right back. Zakowski with a big stop on third down, and it's forced to 4th and 2, and it looks like Munford will go for it here. It's 4th down and 2 at the Lion 36. St. James looking to make a big stop, and will have a chance if they can make this stop to bust this baby wide open. The ball at the 36.
This is when it matters.
Quarterback Nichols back to throw, pump fakes. Now he's going to duck and run. And made a nice throw, but they had linemen downfield.
Yes, they did. Number 58 was probably 6 yards downfield.
Yeah, the quarterback pumped it and then kept rolling.
Nice.
I think his lineman thought he was going to run, and they were way downfield. So it's going to be 4th and about 15.
Here comes the punt team.
Why the punt team's coming, Brad? You got a text from one of my favorite people on the planet.
Absolutely. Coach Jimmy Perry reminding me of that game back in the fall of 1985, and it was Lawrence Dawsey.
Oh, man, I remember that name.
Florida State University is where he ended up going. That absolutely lit us up in the second half.
You couldn't cover him. Huh?
I know. Thank you, Coach, for the update. Hope you're doing well, buddy. We love you.
This punt's going to roll dead at the 30, and the Trojans will take over there. Yeah, Coach Perry, we're just so glad you're listening to us, my friend. Trojans are playing hard. There's no question about that. Not necessarily playing a perfect game, but playing hard, just like they did when you were here. We'll see if we can't get this one all the way to the garage and get it parked on senior night. Trojans with the ball now on the 30. 10-14 to go. I don't think you can have one drive that's 10 minutes and 14 seconds.
I know.
But
28 rushes on the night so far.
Craig, little counter
There you
sweep. And that's the young man Hartley carrying the football.
How about that?
Pickup of about 6 or 7. We'll call it 7 for him. Hartley just on the buck sweep.
Yeah.
All right, now the 3 plays.
The down, the buck sweep, and the counter.
You wrote it on the bottom of your spot, your stat sheet. That's not fair.
Yeah.
All right, Trojans with the ball in the middle of the field, second down. Straight ahead, Zakowski. Oh my heavens. Did he get hit? Back to the line, and that's it.
He got
up holding the football and walked all the way back to the referee and had something to say to him. He lost his mouthpiece. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
And then pointed at the defensive guy. I think it said good hit. That's my guess what he said to him. All right, it's 3rd and 7. Trojans need to keep the football here. Right in the middle of the field. Let's see what they can dial up here on an offensive call. Trying to draw them off sides, I think, was Mason Craig. A little sweep.
Yes.
First down by Hartley, I think. Yep, he got it. Hartley on the first down carry.
The 8th grader.
Probably seeing a guy that whose name's going to be called next year.
No doubt. No doubt. Out to the 41.
Out to the 41.
4-yard gain for the young man.
Delbridge in as well. Out over the ball for St. James's senior Jack Caradori. Delbridge here wide to the wide side of the field. Freshman tight end is in as well. And what a nice block. And that's Yancey.
Gone.
He might be gone. One man to beat. He's going to be pulled down. There's a flag back at the 35. What a nice block by freshman tight end Jordan Williams out there.
Goodness.
Sealed the edge. But I think a hold behind the play.
Behind the play.
It's still going to be more than enough for a first down. Yeah. More than enough for a first down for St. James, however. Check the clock, Sonny. 8:03 to go. Yancey. Do you see him? He's like, oh, man.
Okay, from the spot.
Yeah, it's a first down.
I don't even know how to put this in the stat book.
Well, it's actually not a play.
Yeah,
There's no rushing on that. It's just a penalty.
Penalty in our favor that brings it out to the 46-plus territory.
That's right. Caradori back out there over the ball. Steenwinder and Green are the guards. Wiggum and Ward are the tackles. The tight end is Hines. And I think, they call timeout across the way.
You know, we've seen this before in many games over the years, going all the way back, to Coach Perry and Coach Posey. When we get these teams in the fourth quarter and we can get that 5th or 6th or 7th play snapped, you begin to see that defense put their hand on their hips. It is so important to be able to run the ball in the fourth quarter. And this is evidence of it tonight, that once we kind of hit that midfield, these guys are getting gassed a little bit.
Well, and that, this offensive formation is not fancy. It's not flashy. But when you can shield your guys, and it's really based on that. It's a formation that works if you don't have the biggest offensive lineman in the world, which is St. James, this year. That's just how it is. And it's shielding guys. It's giving a gap. It's getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust
Yep.
and getting back in the huddle and getting it again. And what that does is what you said. The defense gets tired.
Yeah, they do, and they get frustrated.
Yeah,
they really do. I can tell it on a couple of these defensive linemen. It's starting to get to them.
They're not having a very good time, and it's a 2-hour bus ride home. All right, Trojans with the ball at the Lion 46, first down. They're having fun down below us. Wing pass to Ford Bass. He catches it right in stride, and will drag a tackler and be pushed out of bounds across the way at about the 33.
Man,
that was nicely thrown. Bass is in the backfield. Craig takes it under center, rolls, takes a little counter move to spin out from under center, and Bass just runs outside the defensive end. He dumps it over the end's head and had plenty of running room, and it's another first down for the Trojans, the third on this drive. 7:51 to play. 10:14 on the clock when this drive started. A little toss sweep. Yancey broke a tackle. Going to get about 4 out there when he should have lost a couple.
Yeah. He is running hard.
Yeah. Having a good time tonight. Oh, and Zakowski went in for him, and he rolled his head. Like, let me stay in here, guys.
Yeah. Come on.
Conrad Miller, the junior receiver out there now for the Trojans, trying to let you know about some of these guys getting into some action. Dawson Knowles still at the wing back.
Yes.
Zakowski and Ford Bass, the two seniors in the backfield, the senior quarterback, senior tight end, senior wing back for the Trojans. Zakowski on the down. Zakowski to the 13.
Nice.
First down, Trojans.
Set by Conrad's dad, Craig, at breakfast this morning.
All right, they'll see. Oh, it's they called illegal procedure on St. James. I have to redo my entire drive chart because I'd already moved it forward. That's another penalty.
5-yarder?
Yeah, that's 13, isn't it?
Yeah, 13.
I'm going to win this wager.
I think you're going to win.
I think I'm going to win. We hadn't mentioned the fact that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. The guys have this bright pink shirts on under their jerseys, and the coaching staff wearing blue vests, and you can see the pink sleeves under. A real nice look, and we certainly want to do everything we can to. Mason Craig's going to be dropped back at the line of scrimmage, but everything we can to highlight the importance of screening and the importance of being aware and taking action and following the advice of your healthcare professionals, everybody. But on this night, the reminder is for breast cancer.
Yes.
Having had some surgery myself back in April, I encourage all the men listening on Breast Cancer Awareness Night to go to the doctor and keep an eye on your PSA.
Yes, absolutely. It's an easy thing to do. Stay ahead of it.
All right, it's 3rd and 11. Game clock down to 6:25. Trojans trying to convert it here. Don't think they'll punt. Zakowski near the 25. Going to be short, but it's going to be close enough to go for it.
Yeah, I think you go for it here.
It's 4th and about 1.5 yards. The nose of the ball touches the 25. St. James will need to get to the 23. They're going for it here on 4th down. 5:49 to play. The clock runs. Trojans lead 24-12. Running here to the overloaded side, I think. Nope, they'll sneak it. And I'm not sure he got it this time. I don't think so.
Well, it was a long 2 yards.
Yeah, they're held on 4th down.
Okay, 5 minutes.
And Munford's going to get it. Trojans lead by 12, 5:33 to go. Munford defense made a stop there, of course, aided by a Trojan penalty. The ball at the 25. what Spence McCracken used to say, you start on the 80% of the time you won't score.
You won't
So if
score.
you start on the 20,
25.
80% of the time you won't. So on the 25, so maybe that means 75%
75%
of the time you won't score. 3 wide receivers across the way for the Lions, and they'll throw that bubble screen. Tackles miss, but Zakowski will sprint out there and get him down.
Yep.
Pick up of a first down, however, out to the 35. I'd let you know who's replaced Zakowski, but there's no 10 on my roster. But whoever it is playing inside linebacker.
I see him.
Quarterback's going to keep it on the midline
Oh,
option.
no.
He's going to be pulled down, but another first down. That's the quarterback, Nichols. Just kept it running off right guard. Ball near the 49. First down Lions, 4:36 to go. Quarterback's going to throw this one away. St. James had that bubble screen defended that time.
Yeah, they did.
If he had thrown that ball, I think Dylan Hines would still be running.
And he also, I kept waiting for maybe one of the receivers to break away on a go route, and one guy did wiggle down the field about 7 yards, but he just burned it. He just threw it away. And
they're talking it over about whether or not this is going to be intentional grounding, I think. The clock stopped 4:26.
Not outside the tackle box.
He couldn't. Well, the receivers were blocking downfield, so they are going to throw the flag.
Intentional grounding.
Well, I think it's going to be intentional grounding, or they may have called the lineman downfield because they were intentional grounding.
Inside the tackle box.
Yeah.
And he burned it downfield. The guy was, I don't know that he was close.
No, he was nowhere near, really.
He was on about the 49, and he burned it all the way down to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they ran the bubble screen, and St. James had it diagnosed, so he couldn't throw it.
Yeah.
And he should not have been able to have thrown it downfield because the receivers in the bunch set were blocking downfield. Now he's going to wave it off. Okay. Who's surprised about that? But at least that's not another penalty.
Yeah.
We're stuck at 13.
Your hope now. Okay, I see how you're going to play it.
Stuck at 13. Okay, 2nd and 10, 4:26. Clock stopped. They're in the bunch formation again across the way, and they'll throw it out here this time. And who was it diagnosed out there by Luke Catchings? Pass was complete, but that's a loss.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
All right, the linebackers are going to be Zakowski.
They did not substitute, and we did, and we're going to have 12 men on the field.
We had too many men on the field.
And
we intercept a pass that's not going to count, and oh, my goodness.
And there's a 15-yard penalty on them now.
Jordan Williams got lit up over there, and that's going to be a penalty.
You're going to have to re-explain everything that just happened.
Everything that happened.
Yeah,
okay, so St. James made wholesale substitutions on 3rd and long. And one of the St. James defenders, whose name will remain nameless, didn't get off the field. He kind of lollygagged, as we used to say. So St. James had 12 men on the field. Jordan Williams intercepted the pass, returned it, and got hit out of bounds. So we have penalties against both teams.
So it's not a dead ball foul having 12 men on the field.
It should be a dead ball foul.
Oh, it is.
After the play. So it should be one of those where they walk off both penalties. 3:51, but they continue to talk it over there.
So it's having 12 men is a dead ball.
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying the hitting him out of bounds was a dead ball foul.
Gotcha.
Should have been a dead ball foul. So they should mark off 5 against
10
us.
And 15 the other way.
Yeah, 5 against St. James, 5 against St. James, and
5.
then 15 against Munford. I think. Trojans lead 24-12. I don't know how long it's been since I've said that.
It's 15 penalties.
Well, Brad says there's 15 penalties, but they haven't marked it off
True,
yet.
that's true.
They continue to huddle across the way.
Yeah, this looks like the Auburn-Georgia game for everybody tuning in.
Yeah. How was it 1st and 8? Which is what the chains say over there. I don't think that's right.
What?
Did they move the chains? Okay, so they'll mark off 5 against St. James, put it down.
In essence, they would mark off a 10-yard penalty.
Okay, now
we got a 15-yard penalty coming back.
Now they should mark off 15. Dead ball, 15-yard penalty, personal foul against Munford. Okay, so I was right, but that's 15 penalties on the night.
Okay, 5, 10, 15.
Okay, so the ball, here we go. Let me see if I can tell you where we are. Rather than trying to explain everything, a penalty against Munford, a penalty against St. James, and it'll be 1st down and 18 from their 41.
41-yard line.
It's 4th down. It's not 1st. Yeah, it's not 3rd either. It's 4th. It should be 4th.
Is it 4th?
I think. Either way, it's long yardage. They'll leave it at 3rd down. Back to pass is the quarterback. Trojans will chase him out of the pocket, and he'll throw it in and out of the hands of the receiver, Curry, and incomplete. Now I know it's 4th down.
He's playing a little Tim Tebow football.
Yeah.
Trying to draw those guys up like he's going to run it, and then he just flips it out for a pass.
And he made a nice throw.
That was a great throw. But the receiver was falling down trying to catch it.
All right, it's 4th down.
Come on.
3:41 to go. Trojans ought to be able to run the clock out if they can get the ball here.
4th and 18.
Ball's at the 41. They need to get to the Trojan 41. Back to pass. Trojans chase the quarterback out of the pocket, and he flips that one out of bounds, which is certainly going to be intentional grounding. And they're going to call it, Brad.
Yes, that is the correct call. That is number 16.
All right, so 4th down. Turns it over to the Trojans. It'll be a 5-yard penalty from the 31. All right, over on downs, and St. James will get the ball here on senior night at Carlisle Field.
Penalty number 16.
Yikes. It's getting close. All right, the Trojans will get the ball at the 26.
If you're just listening, I told Sonny that we're going to have 20 penalties before this game is over. And
I said no.
You said no.
And we're at what?
3 minutes and 31 seconds to go and 16 penalties.
That's not on the Trojans. That's on both teams combined. All right, the ball at the Trojan 26.
Let's score.
Have we got a senior running back that hasn't scored a touchdown yet? If so, somebody put him in.
Grant Phillips has not scored yet.
Ford Bass with it on a little counter sweep. He's thrown down on what looked like a horse collar.
Is that not a horse collar?
It was not, however. I will tell you, the side judge right here grabbed his flag but didn't pull it out.
Yeah.
The ball is 21, so a pickup of 5. This is the time of the game when the guys who don't get to play much generally start squishing up close to the coach. St. James out over the ball, leading by 12. Clock runs. We're down to 2:40. Mason Craig under center. Zakowski, first down. He got hit at the 14.
He's going to sleep well tonight.
He is. His teammates up there trying to get him up.
Boy, he got popped.
Sure did. They marked it at the 14. Oh, Munford guys are tired.
Yeah.
Zakowski come out. Somebody's playing Dixieland Delight down here below us.
I think that's the 38th rushing play.
Wow. 38 carries on the night. Mason Craig has taken his time so much that he didn't get the ball snap before the play clock ran out. 150 to go. That's 17. I'm getting nervous on the penalties now.
Oh, 150 left, Sonny.
If there are 3 more penalties in a minute and 50 seconds. All right, Bass and Yancey in the backfield. Craig to Bass.
Yes, get
Sprinting around the corner. Oh, no, there's holding.
There's a holding. There's another flag.
There's holding. Y'all can't hear J.R. Brown, I don't think, the PA announcer, but he just said, there's a flag on the play.
Imagine that.
I'm thinking the same thing, JR, because that's 18.
The refs are bored and the boys don't really care anymore.
What time is it? It's 9:15. Why are you slowing this down?
Oh, my goodness. 10-yarder.
Munford's got a 2-hour bus ride.
The 18th penalty.
You know what they just said? The part of Dixieland Delight?
Yes.
Where, in Tuscaloosa you say beat Auburn,
yes,
LSU, and Tennessee too. They just said beat ACA, MA, and Trinity too.
I love it.
Here comes a blitz.
Yes.
And Craig fumbled the snap, fell on it. That is not a penalty.
I mean, they literally had 11 men on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And one in every gap.
Yeah. And Zakowski goes back out there. Like he hadn't had enough fun yet.
MA2.
Yeah. I told you. I had it in the wrong order. It's Trinity, ACA, and MA2.
MA2.
All right, the ball at the 34. Watching the clock. It is 2nd down and 29 yards. Delbridge with the football.
There we go. So he is the two.
No, it wasn't Delbridge. That was Hartley.
Okay, Hartley again.
All right, the Trojans will have to snap it one more time. And should get out of here at 24-12. Not much offensively here in the second half for St. James, but enough. Zakowski's going to come out there and make sure nothing goes crazy on this snap. The Trojans will take a knee.
We do have to snap it.
Craig stands in the shotgun. All right. Mason Craig takes a knee, and the Trojans will get win number 3 of the 2025 season.
Awesome.
It's St. James 24 and Munford 12. Trojans led 17-6 at halftime. Munford did score and pulled to within 17-12 with 9:32 to go. But St. James scored on a Ford Bass 8-yard run to make it 24-12 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And no scoring in the fourth quarter. And St. James wins on senior night 24-12. Head coach Larry Ware gets the victory in what will be his last night coaching St. James football. I should have said interim head coach Larry Ware, helping pick up the pieces from what was a discouraging summer here with the St. James football program. But the Trojans celebrate senior night. Didn't make the playoffs, but this will be a happy night for everybody in blue and gold. Brad is going to work on the stats, and we're going to take a 2-minute break. And when we come back, we'll look at the numbers, and then we'll wrap things up from a happy Carlisle field. St. James wins 24-12. This is St. James football on WRBZ.
When most people think of landscaping, they picture a few shrubs and a patch of grass. But at Tanner Landscaping, we transform spaces into lush, vibrant paradises. Based in Pike Road, our family-owned business specializes in both residential and commercial landscaping and irrigation. Our talented team is dedicated to making your landscape dreams come true. Find us on Facebook at Tanner Landscaping, LLC. We are proud supporters of St. James football. Go Trojans.
When a sports injury has you sidelined, Baptist Ortho Now offers comprehensive orthopedic care with no appointment from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with board-certified specialists treating injuries and expert physical therapists administering everything from sports medicine to everyday recovery treatment. Baptist Ortho Now, getting you off the bench and back in the action. East Chase across from Target.
In challenging times, trust is everything. At the Bush Law Firm, they specialize in debtors and creditors' rights, offering expert legal restructuring for businesses facing bankruptcy. As one of only 2 firms in Montgomery County equipped to handle such cases, the focus is on guiding you through insolvency with precision and care. Restructuring for a brighter future starts here. The Bush Law Firm. Navigate your path to stability. Visit us online at bushlegalfirm.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
If you want to see your money grow without a whole lot of fuss, well, you're sure to find some peace of mind at Riverbank and Trust.
Hi, this is Billy Wiggum with Riverbank and Trust. When you need a winning game plan for your finances, trust our home team of community bankers. From local banking expertise to newest innovations and technology, we have all the right strategies for your financial success. Experience the home team advantage for yourself at Riverbank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're back here at Carlisle Field. We're just having a conversation with J.R. Brown, and I think I ought to take a minute to thank him for handling the 3 of the road games this year and keeping us on the radio here on WRBZ. And thanks to the folks at Little Engine Broadcasting. I know that there are people listening on the app. We didn't get the Geo map tonight, Brad, but I know we had somebody from Japan listening, the grandfather of Dawson Knowles. And
sure did.
We had folks also listening on the radio the old-fashioned way, watching and listening on Facebook and also on WRBZ's webpage. So there are a lot of ways to listen to St. James football, and we appreciate our sponsors that have kept us on the air again this year, a successful year of bringing you the story of St. James football. And it's not a story that's going to end in the playoffs for the first time in 12 years, but a happy senior night tonight. And, I think when it's all said and done, Brad, this is my 17th year doing St. James radio broadcasting, which just means I must be the most boring man in America for doing this on Friday nights. But it's been fun. But I'm not so sure that this won't be one of my favorite teams. And they finished 3-7.
Yeah, they're just fighters. They're scrappers. I mean, and that senior, we were sitting there counting, 3 seniors got to score a touchdown, and Dylan Hines gets to kick a 35-yard field goal. Yeah. All seniors.
Yeah, an awesome senior night here. The Trojans get victory number 3. And, you don't want to talk about all the ifs that could have happened, but, just a break last Friday night and St. James is in the playoffs. Just a break. You lose 13-7. I know. You got the ball on the 1-yard line, get a holding penalty, don't get any points out of it. But tonight's not about that. Tonight's about, a celebration of 13 young men who've had a really tough season. But like you said, they're fighters, and they've really built a great relationship with each other that'll last. Let's look at the stats, man.
Yeah, the final stats. It was rushing. 40 carries tonight, 218 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Your leading rusher, 15 carries from Miles Zukowski, 78 yards and a touchdown, followed by Andrew Yancey, 7 carries, 77 yards and a touchdown, followed by Ford Bass with 4 carries, 20 yards and a touchdown. Grant Phillips, 5 carries, 27 yards. Mason Craig, 5 carries for 2. And then the 8th grader, Cameron Hartley, number 32, 4 carries, 14 yards, given 40 rushes on the night, which just wore down their defense completely. Mason Craig finishes passing 2 of 6 for 25 yards, connecting with Yancey and Bass on a couple of passes. So total plays tonight, 46 offensive plays, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a fantastic 35-yard field goal by Dylan Hines by himself, getting 5 points tonight. Your leading tackler, Miles Zukowski, the leading rusher and the leading tackler with 7. Grant Phillips ends up with 2 fumbles.
Yep.
2 fumbles recovered and 4 tackles. And Wright ends up with 5 tackles on the night, and a few other fellas this evening with about 4 tackles. So fantastic job. Way to go out with a victory. Like you said, the odd thing is most of the time you end with a loss or you win a state championship.
That's right.
And this way, this senior class gets to go out with a victory, and gosh, they deserve it.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, it would have been nice to have had 2 weeks to get ready and play in the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight. But as a number 4 seed in the playoffs, it's more times than not, it's a real tough Friday night. You travel and play a region champ, and you know, when there's some time to reflect on it, you know, this might have been a better way for this season to end, as tough as it's been. You know, I don't remember the next to last game. I mean, I would really have to, you know, and we made it to the semifinals my junior year, and probably had the best team in the state, but were ineligible for the playoffs my sophomore year. But I don't remember that. I remember senior night in a season much like this one, and this group will remember it too. And my favorite moment from this season, 2 weeks ago against Cleveland County. You know, the band's in a competition, so they're not there. Cheerleaders didn't come. I scratched my head, and there's nobody there but the parents.
Yeah.
And it's 2.5 hours to Cleveland County. And St. James wins 14-7. They just got through playing the alma mater and standing here toward the band and singing together. There was no band, and Luke Catchings, you know, leads like a drum major with all the football players facing him, and they sing the alma mater way up there in Cleveland County. And I think that's a pretty doggone good example of what this team's been about. And, you know, won't be long till it's August again, though, Brad.
I know. Can you talk a little bit about classifications?
Sure.
What's going to be happening between now and next August?
Sure. St. James should be in 3A. We all know that. And the High School Athletic Association has something they call competitive balance, which I'll keep my thoughts to myself about the misnaming of something called competitive balance, because I hadn't seen anything last year or this year that was particularly competitive. But if you essentially, if you make it to the state championship game and you're a private school, you have to move up a class. So all of the St. James sports are playing in 3A, except volleyball, who is having to play up 2 classes because of the competitive balance, and football, who this year and last year had to play up into 4A. St. James did not make the playoffs this year, so they will not earn enough points to stay in 4A. So in December, the High School Athletic Association will release the classifications that will start next year with football and run 2 years. St. James will for sure be back in 3A. You can't move down but 1 class. So even if somehow they went down to 2A, which is very, very unlikely in other sports, St. James will be playing in 3A. That means the toughest teams in the region are MA and Trinity. If we were playing 3A this year, we would have been in the region with MA and Trinity and ACA and Prattville Christian and Northside Christian or whatever it is down there in Dothan, and so in
Providence Christian
and Houston Academy. Would have been in in a 3A region that would have literally been all private schools.
So it doesn't. So they don't take into consideration the size of our roster.
No.
Our roster went from 60 to 31, 32, 33.
It's the size
and so,
of this.
And so you could have
the enrollment.
Yes, you could have enrollment at whatever number and have 20 guys show up to play football, and by God, you're going to be 3A football.
That's right. You're going to be where and
I'd like to have
it's not likely. Yeah, it's not likely that St. James will go down to 2A by numbers. Okay, but if they did, this competitive balance would continue to punish St. James for winning the state championship.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, that's what it is. This is St. James broadcast. I'll say what I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
The Trojans, this group right here, who were ninth graders when St. James won the state championship, get punished and play in 4A their senior year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the point of that is. I'll probably just be quiet so I don't say anything else. But it is what it is. That's not going to change between now and next fall. But next fall, this football program will be playing in 3A, and this football program will have another head coach.
Yeah.
It will be the 5th straight year that St. James will have had a different head coach. Jimmy
Not
Perry,
ideal.
Near Posey, Aubrey Blackwell,
Larry
Ware, and whoever becomes the permanent head coach here. And what they'll find when they get here is a school with spirit and a school with a culture that can come back and win another state championship with the right guy here. And Jimmy Perry was the right guy for 11 years. And there's somebody else out there who will be the right guy. And Larry McLemore and Larry Ware got to make that decision. And I'm sure that'll be announced at the right time. And these young men, hopefully, that are juniors and sophomores and freshmen, will be ready to play next football season.
Absolutely. It's been a great year.
It has.
Enjoyed doing it with you again.
You too.
My
It's been
8th
fun.
year, and it's been fun.
It has been fun. All right. So one final time for head of school, Larry McLemore, for head coach Larry Ware, for the young men who played football in blue and gold tonight, for my friend Terry Barber at Little Engine Broadcasting, who supports St. James football as strongly as anybody, making his broadcast facilities available to us. I'm Sonny Brassfield. Final score, St. James 24 and Munford 12. Rich, I wish you'd been here to see this one. Gus, we love you. Good night until next August. You be safe. Go Trojans.
Thank you for joining us for Trojan Football. This is Head of School Dr. Larry McLemore.